Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. I'm Adam Rancher. Today is Thursday, February 26th, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. Time for some Underdog drafts. We're going to have some fun today. I've not been on the stream for 3 days now. Been busy working the last couple days, so we're back. This one might go a little long. I think we're going to do at least 3 drafts, maybe a 4th. Who knows? I decided to remove the ad breaks today, so a nice thank you would be to hit that like button. Let us begin. Yo, welcome in here. We got Jamie, and I have to shout out Jamie because he made some awesome music for me. We will be playing that very shortly. We're going to let some people come in and then remind everyone once again about Jamie's streams. Jamie, please, if you're watching at this moment, please let me know the specific link to your channels that I would love to hype you up, my friend. I believe we're going to be live streaming next Monday, if I am correct, and barring any odd circumstances, hopefully we can have Jamie on our channel soon. I think I'm going on yours first, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, we will do some collabs with Jamie, who was kind enough to make us some music. And we'll be playing that very shortly. I'm going to wait until we hop in first, because I wanted to talk a little bit about a few pieces of news, maybe just one piece of news. But Who Hame's in here. Anyone watching, whether it's now or on the replay, head over to Who Hame's channel. He's got some great insight. Awesome channel. Is the music on right now? It is. It is on right now. Whoops. I already had it on, but you know what? Fuck it. Let's keep it on. Is it too loud? I turned it off briefly, but yeah, his music is sick. All Jamie. Let's just keep it on right now. Fuck it. Let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. All right. Anyways, NapGod is in here. Scott is in here. Good evening. And Who Hames is saying it's slightly lower. Apologies. First time we have it on, so I'm trying to get the levels correct. And obviously, sometimes it's good for me on my end, but it's not always good for you on your end. So we're at negative 25 decibels, and hopefully it's okay. But let me know. Let me know. Maybe I'll get my headphones in for my phone, and that way I can check it. But anyways. All right, let's begin. Let's get it going. I don't know why my phone isn't showing it to me, but anyways, don't want to waste any more time. Let us begin. We would like to begin with just a quick piece of news. We have Ashton Jeanty on the thumbnail. And there is some interesting headlines regarding Clint Kubiak's plans for Ashton Jeanty. Raiders need a wingman for Ashton Jeanty. 2-man show at running back is possible. This was posted today at 12:11 p.m. on Pro Football Talk, NBCSports.com, so very legit source. That is a potential worry. Maybe Ashton Jeanty not going to be as big of a workhorse as possible. But I'm not super convinced they're going to draft someone. They have a lot of they have a lot of cap space, and I think they're more likely to bring in a veteran to complement Ashton Jeanty than bring in a rookie. I think that would be more likely the case because they have so much money to spend, and there's a lot of good running backs on the market. So we'll see what happens, but I also wanted to look at Clint Kubiak's tenure throughout the league and what has he kind of been known to do, because last year, if you look at the Seahawks, this is more of a personnel decision, if anything. I don't think there's that much of a drop-off from Walker to Charbonnet. It was nearly a 50-50 split. Now, Charbonnet did get hurt briefly at the tail end of the season. That was in the playoffs, though. He did miss one game during the year, and when you look at the carry split, 184 to 221, that's essentially 55 to 45. In the reception department, Walker had 36 targets, 31 catches. Charbonnet, meanwhile, had 24 targets, 20 receptions, so a bit of a fall off. Walker was definitely more involved in the reception department. But really, touchdowns were the big discrepancy in the Kubiak backfield. We had 12 rushing touchdowns for Charbonnet, and then Walker had 5. So I think that's a lot more dependent on who they have on the team, and it's definitely going to throw a wrench into the system if Genty has to compete with someone else. But it's not something I'm going to super overreact to, because if we go back to the year prior, if we go back to the New Orleans Saints, whoa, what did I just do? Let's check out the Saints, where Kubiak was before that, 1 year prior. Their personnel didn't really allow for a touch split in the backfield. We're not looking at 2025. We want to look at 2024. And in terms of this backfield, like, Kamara only played 14 games, had 228 carries. So there were 3 games where he wasn't even on the field, and no other player had more than 50 carries. Like, Jamal Williams is next man up with 48 carries. In the passing game, there's no other running back with really any relevance at all. We have Jordan Mims with 18 targets, 12 receptions. I don't even remember who Jordan Mims is. And then we all remember Kendry Miller just being like an absolute bust. So it's all dependent on personnel, who they bring in. I think in free agency, though, that's a bit more likely who would join Genty as opposed to someone in the draft. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe they do draft someone. But I think the talent that you can acquire at that position is much more in free agency this year. And the Raiders have a shit ton of cap space. If we go over to Over the Cap and check leaders in cap space, the Raiders are number 2 with currently $91.5 million in cap space. I'm not sure what the difference between that and effective cap space is, but they rank second, only behind the Titans at the moment. The Jets are in 3rd, and then we have the Chargers at number 4 on the list. But I'm not going to panic on Genty. If anything, I'm kind of underweight Genty at the moment, and I would like to get in on him before it's too late. There's a world where he moves up a lot, but maybe this news will lead people to panic, and maybe he does fall. It looks like BestBall Q says if he falls, I'm scooping him up. Feels like if he's somewhere in the mid-second, that's a really good value. I'd much rather have Genty than Saquon Barkley. Personally, I'd still rather have Hampton than Genty, but I do think in a similar tier. It's hard to know exactly who the running back 3 is going to be this year, and I think if you believe it's Genty, I don't think you're, like, crazy. But I would say odds are running backs like 4 through 10 are going to be somewhat similar overall. So I think he's going to land in that range of the overall production, and I think I'm going to be fine taking him. I also am kind of interested in a potential Genty Bowers combo. So with that in mind, we're done with our brief news update just on Genty. He's on the thumbnail, so wanted to spotlight him a little bit. And Jamie did send me a link, so I will try and scoop that, post it once we hop into the lobby. But now that we have some viewers, if you would like to join me now, it's time for the main event. We're going to join a big board first, and then we will do a little board after. So first lobby, going to be a big board, and then we'll do a $3 little board, and then we'll probably head back to the big board after that. But I do not want to get boxed out. I do not want to do a rug pull on y'all, so going to make sure that I can join when it's intended. I have gotten the location error several different times, so bear with me just one moment. I'm pulling up Underdog on my phone, and I hope y'all are prepped. If you would like to be drafting in this lobby with me, we will be heading in very, very soon, very shortly. I officially have it up on the phone, so big board is set to go. There's like a 5-second delay today, so if you would like to join, go ahead and hit that button in 3, 2, 1 right now, and then I will join in roughly 3, 2, 1. Should be kind of synced up for the most part. 2 more spots. If you would like to join, you still can, but hopefully this one fills relatively quickly. 1 more spot. 11 out of 12 have filled, and this is a big board in case you just joined and you just missed it. But yeah, still one spot. If you care to scoop it, go ahead. But as always, if you just want to spectate, there's nothing wrong with that either. So a reminder, hit that like button for me. If you're joining, there are no ad breaks today. No ad breaks. We got some music, trying to heighten the experience a little bit. At the very least, hit the like for no ads. I mean, come on. That I think is pretty appropriate. But we get the 10 pick. Not too bad. Definitely a spot where we can probably go Genty Bowers if we want. I think odds are he's still going to be there. But I see Sweetleaf in at number 1. We have Wonka with a AAA. That's the first time I've drafted with Wonka. Danimal, I recognize Danimal in at number 4. Nap Ball in here. The Nap God. We got Doc in at the 106. I recognize Doc. I also recognize Bryson Anderson in at the 8. And then we did join kind of late in terms of the 12-man lobby. So if you are in here, if I do not recognize you, if I forgot to mention you, then let me know. And let me know what y'all think of this music. Give Jamie his credit. I am a big fan of this song. There's another one he gave me. I think both of them are awesome. For the sake of like background music, he also sent me some songs with more lyrics, and maybe I'll drop those. But at least first day bringing him in, I kind of just want to stick to some of the more instrumental stuff. But anyways, here we go. This draft is underway, and we have Bijan, Gibbs, and Puka. Pretty common start at the top there. So top 4 rarely changes very much, but we'll see what happens. And then at 10, at least today, I'm probably going to try a heavy Raiders investment. So if you want to snipe me, if you want to get ahead of it, I guess go ahead. But I'm going to be messing with the ADP, so not sure if that's really what you want to do. Interesting. Nap Ball goes CeeDee Lamb at the 5. Don't hate it. Also think it's really compelling to pair him up with George Pickens, set up a Dak Prescott stack. Genty does get sniped. Maybe this person is watching, but in all honesty, I do think Amon-Ra is more valuable than Genty, so that's fine. We're not going to do it today, I guess, at least not on the first one, but it is what it is. Can't always get what you want, but sometimes if you try real hard, you get what you need, and Amon-Ra at the 10 feels really, really nice. So it is what it is, not what I planned, but I'm not too upset about it. I do have Amon-Ra ranked above Genty in my personal rank, so that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to be upset about it. We'll probably do it later, though, if we can. Maybe I'm not going to force it, but who knows what will happen. Anyways, James Cook, Achane go. Hampton goes. Would have loved Hampton. But kind of want to go with an anchor RB, but let's push it a little bit. Let's go Bowers. I kind of wanted to pull up Bowers for intentionally. So let's go with Bowers. Fuck it. I think Bowers is a bit more interesting than McBride. From a talent standpoint, I think he has a higher ceiling. And some of the touchdown production for McBride felt a little bit fluky, all tied to Jacoby Brissett. And there's a new play caller. I'm not sure if not sure how I feel about McBride this high. He should be fine, but I think it's perfectly justified to take Bowers above him. So here we go. We got Amon-Ra, Brock Bowers. Let's see how it goes. We might hate it, but I've been trying to do a few less like heavy running back combos, and I've been kind of liking some of the teams. So in the chat, I wanted to drop Jamie's link. There it is down below. Head over to his channel, give him some love, give him a like and subscribe. It looks like we're going to do a stream on Monday together. I believe it'll be on his channel, and then we will do something on my channel after that. Probably not on the same day, but then also a heads up, tomorrow I will be joining Jiri Football on his channel. New name in the BestBall game has a channel of his own, has done some live streams with some other content creators. He had Who Hames on his channel, I believe, yesterday. Yeah, that was last night. I think he did a draft with Bindles recently, and then I think he's also appeared on BestBall Guy's channel, and I saw him on PPR Tyler a couple weeks ago. So tomorrow I will be on Jerry Football's channel as a guest, and I believe it'll be roughly not this exact time, but like a half hour from now tomorrow, 5:15 p.m. Pacific time. I believe that is when we're gonna go live. Maybe 5 p.m., maybe 5:30, but in that 5:15-ish range. So just a reminder to support some other names in this community. We got an awesome community, honestly, especially early in the year. I mean, it's still February and everyone's showing up. It's been dope. Give Jamie some love, especially if you like the music, especially if the music is chill. And I'm a fan. I am really appreciative, and yeah, definitely nice. But thank you, Best Ball on Call. Appreciate you. We're also trying to do a collab with Anthony on Best Ball on Call. Go ahead and head over to his channel as well. I'm not sure exactly when that will be scheduled, but we've been in some talks over on Twitter, and hopefully we can get that going in the next week or so. But given the situation, I do not want to get like totally screwed, but I'm just gonna pull up Kyron. Kyron is paid off. We need a running back, and the Rams offense is not one I want to fully fade. So give me Kyron Williams. I'll take him here. But Green Bean in here. Welcome aboard. Sober drafting again this evening. Sadly, yes, we are still in the tolerance break at the moment. I still have a little bit of shrooms left, but I'm probably going to take those tonight after the draft, and then I'll probably give it the weekend, but I'm sure by next week I'm probably going to be itching to smoke again. So at least tonight, no weed breaks on the live stream. A sober draft once again. Rashi falls to the 4th. He's been falling consistently, and I wasn't going to take him at pick 39. I'm going to be honest with you. I was not interested in Rashi, but we do have a Ram already. I'm going to go Devontae Adams here. I think I'm fine with Zay Flowers. I'm fine with Adams. I'm okay with JMO as well, but we could double stack the Lions. Instead, I'm going to double stack the Rams, and we're going to go Kyron and Devontae Adams instead. Yeah, I know, man. But fucking bogus, right? What am I? What have I become? It'll be back. I promise it's not going to be too long before we're hitting the pipe back on the stream. But just been trying to save a little money. It's been a while since I've had a girlfriend for Valentine's Day. And not only did I try to spoil her on Valentine's Day, her birthday was last weekend, and she had a trip planned. She was going to be out of town, so I didn't know she was going to be in town. So I went a little extra on Valentine's Day, and her trip got canceled. And so I also had an unexpected plan for like her birthday. And so like the wallet's just a little bit bleak at the moment, more than typical. So yeah, back-to-back weekends with the girlfriend. Oof, a little bit more pricey than I fully intended going into the month. So it is what it is. I'm trying to save just a little bit of cash, and honestly, the tolerance break is definitely helping with that. Not buying some weed at the moment does help, but did have some work last couple days, and a lot more than I expected. Damn, last couple days of some long shifts. On Tuesday, I was on set for 11 hours, and then yesterday, I was on set for 15 fucking hours. I got there 9:30. I wasn't out until 1 a.m. I was on a set yesterday for 15 and a half hours, including lunch. Fucking long ass day. So apologies if you were expecting a live stream yesterday. Couldn't do it. And got to pay the bills. So it is what it is. But we're back today. We should be back tomorrow. Definitely, probably going to go live earlier in the day tomorrow. And then we'll be on Jiri Football's channel in the evening. Yes, Green Bean. I am an actor. Was doing some background acting last couple days. But, fuck, 15, like, you get loopy after hour 12. Thankfully, it's not a job that, like, requires a lot of manual labor or anything, but, like, fuck. I was fucking out fast last night. Very, very, long day. But, interesting experience. I'll leave it at that. I can't say much more, but interesting experience. Amon-Ra, Devontae, and Bowers as pass catchers. We also have Kyron, and I believe we had a slight fall on Christian Watson here. Not significant, but is that really who I'm going to take? Yeah, give me Christian Watson. Give me another receiver. I'm trying to go more hero RB at the moment. Trying to do a little more hero RB as of late, and I've been liking the teams quite a bit, especially in certain lobbies like this one. Like, we see Daniels and Drake May go in round 5, so there are some like possible good values that are going to come at QB if those teams are like ignoring it. But Who the Horn has Allen and Drake May, so maybe there might be a little bit of a run on the position. But I mean, if Swift is here in the 6th, I might just take him. Damn, I wanted, I did want Evans, so I have so much Swift. Fuck it. Instead, you go Tyson or Harrison? I'm gonna go, oh, timed out with Tyson, but I almost just flipped it to Harrison there. That's okay, that's fine. We'll grab a rookie. And right now we are clearly in the hero RB build. Buhaim saying hero RB so strong right now. The teams I've done last week, in the last like week or so, last 10 days, where I've been intent. Okay, the team at 7, I think they're done. I think the team at 7 is no longer super viable to be winning this. I mean, they do have some good talent, but 3 QBs in the first 6 rounds does not feel like a winning strategy to me. I'm not jealous of Team 7. I'm really not. So, we're gonna zig when other people zag, or vice versa, whatever you want to say. And anyways, when you haven't had it for a minute, sometimes you do go a little hard. But just in general, I'm not a super wealthy person, so I've just been trying to, budget a little bit better, and it is what it is, man. But it'll be back soon. I promise you. Next week, I'm sure I'll have weed back on the channel. Just mainly taking a break for tolerance purposes, but this is very legit. Alvin and the Chipmunks had a role in Alvin and the Chipmunks. Just one line, but that's probably the only movie. Oh yeah, Jamie, I act this way most days, 100%. Same. Green Beans with us. What is this? A center for ants? All right, so Burrow goes to the Chase drafter. We might get sniped on some QBs, but I think we can kind of push it. Like, right now it's set up for Goff, Stafford, and Jordan Love. Those are some later round stacks. But Dak goes off the board to the team with Lamb. That team with Lamb did go London, did not take Pickens. But you don't have to take Pickens just because you take Lamb at 5. Not necessary at all. But, yeah. Are we going to get a good value at running back here, or probably not? Yeah, no, we're not. I'd rather take I take a lot of Lawrence as well, but I'll take Herbert here for the potential QJ to circle back. Didn't the team around me have... Yeah, they took Ladd, so they're probably fucking pissed. That team goes Hampton and Ladd. With Brian Thomas, they also get a stack, and hopefully they double down with Jacoby Myers and leave us QJ. But best ball Q, later QB is fine to me this year. Yeah, I think if you have two, by the time like Baker and Shuck come off the board, I think you're in great shape. Doesn't really need to be elite QB, but at this stage, I'm fine taking him. But I don't think I'm taking another quarterback here. Definitely not the plan. I definitely want Quentin Johnston. That's obviously... Yeah, here we go. All right, so we have 5 receivers already, and I like this room quite a bit. We have Justin Herbert stacked up with QJ. We might get Gadsden later, and maybe we can call it done at tight end. But then Kyron Williams at running back, our stud at the moment. Maybe if Corum circles back, I might just take both Rams running backs. But if anything, I might just handcuff him to like Jarquez Hunter if I'm like feeling super desperate at the running back position later. And then our receiver room is super strong. We got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devontae Adams, Christian Watson, Jordan Tyson, and Quentin Johnson. Need a good landing spot for Jordan Tyson. But then I think we have the tight end 1 with Bowers. So very strong pass catchers on this team. Only 1 running back through 8 rounds. 5 receivers, elite tight end. And then Herbert definitely has the potential to be a top 5 quarterback. If he is like number 2 in rushing for the 2nd year in a row, definitely going to have some high upside. And then with Mike McDaniel coming in, both tackles getting healthy, Herbert feels like a very safe pick where he's going. Because off the board, he was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He was quarterback 10 off the board. That feels like a very safe bust-proof price for Justin Herbert. Maybe it's too soon for some of y'all. Compared to last year, it does feel much pricier. But you have to compare it to their peers. You have to compare it to the position. Compared to the position, it's fine. And we do see Stafford come off the board, Purdy come off the board, Love come off the board, and then Goff off the board. So 3 of our stacking options were taken. I wasn't going to reach on them, and if they weren't going to come back, then I'm at least glad that I got someone I'm comfortable with. So, Bats. Sorry, but I mean, here's the thing, Bats. Maybe if you had announced yourself at the top, I would have known you were drafted with me, and maybe I wouldn't have sniped you. I apologize. No, not intentional. Not personal, man. I'm sorry. Sorry, bud. It is what it is. It's a tough game sometimes. Am I worried Keenan comes back? I don't really believe he's coming back. If he does, I don't think he's like their main guy. Keenan fell off a cliff after the Colts game. Once Keenan went over like 10,000 career yards with the Chargers, or like set some, I think he became the Chargers' leading receiver. I think I'm just gonna take Gadsden here. Yeah, give me the second stacking combo. And now we're just done at tight end, probably. I think I'm done. With Bowers and Gadsden for the stack, I don't think I need a third. I mean, maybe if there's someone at like just such an elite value, maybe I'll take the third, but in this specific moment, I'm not gonna feel compelled to plan for a third. Would have loved Dave Montgomery to circle back. Perhaps that would have been the correct pick, but it's okay. I'm not gonna cry about it. All right, we're going like super heavy receiver on this one. We're grabbing another rookie with Denzel Boston, and should be a first-round pick, if you ask me. I think he'll go in the 20s, but I believe Denzel Boston's gonna be a first-round pick, so should be a much better landing spot. Who knows? Maybe he even goes to the Chargers. I would be pretty shocked if that's the case. That'd be crazy, probably, but. Very unlikely scenario, but I'll take another receiver. And now we can just like We're going to grab 2 more quarterbacks for sure. But especially if I'm done at tight end and I only need like 1 more receiver for the build, this might be an 8 running back team. And I think we can scoop up some good names, honestly. I think we can still be okay. But this is like such a clear hero stance on Kyron. Maybe I should have grabbed a veteran. Maybe I should have grabbed Jeremiah Love instead. But like, I don't hate this team at all so far. I'm not going to panic on it. I've figured it out, ignoring the position for a long time. But like, obviously running back is like a huge investment I need to make going forward. But yeah, no offense, man. Not personal. I apologize. But it's just a tough game sometimes. Bryson says, love the 7th, 8th round quarterbacks this year. Dart, Herbert, Tila all feel strong and easy to stack. Yeah, it feels like that's a great part of the draft to get your guy. Dak feels pretty good. Lawrence, I trust Liam Cohen, so with his options to throw the ball to, I feel like that's pretty safe. And then Herbert has such underrated rushing value. I think he's also, even a quarterback you can justify fully unstacked. Even if you have no other Charger, I don't think it's crazy to take him. But he has good backstacking options like QJ and Gadsden, like we just took. And now I almost need to just completely isolate running back for a very long time. This is a section of the draft where if I do not get a running back, I think there is a drop-off coming up soon. But who knows? Maybe some of these teams gift me some good values. They're a bit thin. Like, this team is super thin at receiver. They have 3 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, 2 receivers, and 2 tight ends already. Jesus. Trey McBride, Dalton Kincaid, with Allen at least, but I mean, quarterback room's elite, but wide receiver room only Devontae Smith, Michael Wilson. Goes Kenyan Sadiq. Whoa. Strange off the board. Damn. Getting sniped. We're going to go Emmett Johnson. Take a swing on the rookie with a good landing spot. I'll do that. I have a shit ton of Kenny Gainwell. I'm fine taking him as well, but we're either going Kenny G or J.K. Dobbins probably on the way back. I think that team, Dr. Stanky Leg, is not going to be drafting running back if I had to guess. Could go Mendoza, given we have Bowers, but I think it's a little bit more compelling, in my opinion, to grab a running back here. And it's probably going to be Kenny. Nope, he goes to Stanky Leg. Stanky Leg got their 5th running back. So through 11 rounds, we have a rare 1-2-6-2. Don't do that too often. I believe in J.K. Dobbins. I think he's a huge steal, so give me J.K. Dobbins. 100%. I think he's going to be on a similar tier as R.J. Harvey until he gets hurt. It's pretty inevitable that he gets hurt. That's just what happens with Dobbins every season. But if we pull up Dobbins before he got hurt, the man was putting up some good floor games, really solid numbers, really good touchdown production. And it's truly only until he left the offense where R.J. Harvey popped off. So let's pull up 2025 game log for Harvey. Did get hurt after week 10, so we might only get half a season again. But some of these numbers are pretty good. Like, overall 5 yards per carry on the season. That's pretty underrated. On his career, Dobbins has been a 5 yards per carry type of guy very consistently. There's some multiple games here with 7.5 yards per carry, 7.4. He was the first Sean Payton running back in forever to go over 100 yards rushing. It's been such a long time since that's happened. But just look at these like game logs. 16 for 63 and a touchdown. That's fine from a floor standpoint. I'd love that on a consistent basis. 76 for a touchdown, 83 for a touchdown, 101 yards, no touchdown, but add it to that, you're getting 16 points. That's pretty fire. 79 and a touchdown, 40 yards against the Jets. That sucked, but that entire offense was ass in London. 81 yards on 14 carries, 15 for 111 against Dallas. Their run defense was ass. 15 for 61, and then 18 for 77 against the Raiders in a game where they only scored 10 points. So I think Dobbins in this range is a reliable floor play, but obviously I just needed running back. So It is what it is. But do me a favor, hit that like button if you have not done so already. If you're enjoying the stream, if you're compelled by what you're viewing so far, then subscribe to the channel. So far, this team I don't think is bad at all. Especially knowing we're getting at least 7 running backs, if not 8. I mean, Mendoza's falling. That'd be sweet if we got Fernando. And these teams are heavily invested so far. Already has 3. Bryson only has 2. Muggsy only has 2. Might get sniped, but if not, Mendoza would like clearly be the direction, given I have Bowers. What you gonna do, Bryson? Goes Trey Benson. Damn, so fucking close. Muggsy not gonna let me have it. A bummer there, but if anything, kind of saves me from myself a little bit. We're gonna go Rachaad White. Definitely one of my preferred free agent running backs that I think should pop off in free agency with a good landing spot. Hopefully he's with the Commanders in Washington. I would love to see him as their RB1. I think he could really take over quickly, have some good chemistry with Jaden Daniels and really be effective. He'd be a steal if that's what happens. But even if he goes to like Houston or I mean, ideally he's not backing up Genty in Las Vegas. That'd be a bummer. But there's some good landing spots for Rachaad. I think he can contribute at a high clip, and I like taking him quite a bit here. But Sean Tucker does go. Not going to take Ayuk, not going to take Tyreek Hill. I'm going to go Tyjae. Give me Tyjae Spears. And now we have 5 running backs. Justin Herbert, we would have had Mendoza, but sadly, Muggsy snipes us. That's a bummer. He had Genty, though. It's not a snipe. It's the correct pick. Muggsy made the right choice. I didn't realize he had Genty. It's the fully the right choice. But a bummer. Almost convinced myself it was going to happen. Mendoza was like at the top of ADP when we took Dobbins, and he was 1 click away from making it to us at 154. Sad to see. What was the full discount? A 20-pick discount on Fernando Mendoza. Very fair click when you have Genty. I get it. But that's kind of why I wanted Genty and Bowers. I kind of wanted to avoid anyone else setting up the stack. So that's okay, but we go 4 straight running backs with Emmett Johnson, J.K. Dobbins, Rachaad White, Tyjae Spears. Some of my favorite, I think, safer clicks at the position in these last 4 rounds. Emmett Johnson's too talented to be not a riser. I think, especially before the combine, I think it's good to get your bags while you can. And then Dobbins, I think, is just slept on, but injury risk for sure keeps him this low. Rachaad, some really good upside if he gets a good landing spot. And then Tyjae. Tony Pollard's getting up there in age. Pollard is, I believe, going to be 29 this year, if not 30 by the end of it. And I definitely believe that Tyjae has some opportunity to overtake him, especially if he stays healthy in the offseason. The problem with Tyjae is that he keeps getting hurt. And last year, I loved Tyjae Spears. I think he's going a little bit too late this season. And as long as he stays healthy, I think he will pay off at ADP. But Adrock asking, what place did you get in your redraft leagues last year? We made the playoffs in both redraft leagues. I only did 2 last year. I'm looking to do some more this season, but only in 2 leagues last year. It helps me really focus on those teams. And one of them, I was in 3rd place. I missed the bye by just 1 win. Like literally like a 6-point victory that went, or I guess a 6-point loss in the season. Like 1 effing touchdown cost me the playoff bye. And then in the Blunt League, I was in 4th place in the regular season, and sadly I lost to the team that won. I lost in week 15, the wildcard round, in both formats by like such a small margin. It was really, really a bummer. But I'm just going to scoop up Tank Bigsby. I don't really want Braylon Allen. He's falling a little bit, but I'll let him fall a little bit more. I want the running back room that piques my interest. Give me the Eagles handcuff. This is a year I'm heavily fading Saquon. I've barely drafted Saquon. Bigsby, meanwhile, is someone you've probably seen me take in like every fucking draft. I take him so much, especially on the live stream. Take him like crazy. We're going to keep pushing quarterback. Give me Brian Robinson. Yo, we just went straight 6 RBs, around 11 to 16 green log. Beautiful. Love to see it. Fucking beautiful. Yeah. It was such a bummer, man, especially in the Blunt League, in the subscriber league. I was so sad to lose because I missed out on the bye by like 1 win as well. I missed out on the bye. And then I faced one of the, like, in my opinion, sharpest drafters in the Blunt League. Not that no one else is sharp, but I genuinely believe that Huron Riverat, who's also in the live streams, more so in the middle of the summer. Haven't seen him too much in the pre-draft. But Huron Riverat, who you've probably seen me draft with, was in the championship against me last season, and I beat him so narrowly. I think last year, so in 2025, that was last season. In 2024, I was the champ of the subscriber league, and I beat Riverat 172 to like 161. I beat him on the back of Jahmyr Gibbs, J-Mo, and Jared Goff in the final week because Gibbs and J-Mo like went off for like 50 points combined. I came back from like a huge margin. I also had T. Higgins that week that he had 3 touchdowns against the Broncos that season. I barely beat Riverat in the championship for the 1 spot. And then last year, we met up in the 4 versus 5 in the wild card, and I dropped 160 points, and he scored 168, and I lost because Isaiah Likely put up a fucking bagel against the Bengals. The number 1 fucking matchup for Isaiah Likely all season against the tight end position. They gave up over 20 fucking touchdowns going into that week, and Isaiah Likely puts up a goddamn bagel. I was so pissed. I had Jaden Reed on the bench who scored exactly 8 points, and if that would have happened, I would have lost by literally 1 yard. So at least that didn't happen. But really the reason I lost is because I cut Jacoby Myers after he got traded. And had I had Jacoby Myers instead of Isaiah Likely, I would have won 170 to 168. It was such a bummer, man. Such a tough way to go. I had the second highest score in the wild card round of the playoffs. And then literally every other week, I had the highest scoring team in the playoffs. Had I won that week, I would have won the whole thing. Such a sad turn of events. But I'm going to scoop up Aaron Rodgers here. The quarterback I feel most confident in being like a legit starter. And like this could potentially be a 4 quarterback team, honestly. But we're going to scoop him up. And then we're done at tight end. Our running back room already has 7. I'm going to grab another one. We have 3 rounds left. Brissett off the board. I think I might just take J.J. McCarthy. Falls a round and a half. Nothing like amazing, but the man has some rushing upside. Had 4 rushing touchdowns last year. So some spike week potential is definitely possible. And he started to look a little bit better towards the end of the season. Like, for this price, I'm not saying he's like, you know, a smash pick or anything, but it's dirt cheap. It's basically free. And if we pull up his game logs, towards the end of the season, he was starting to get a little bit better. Last 4 games as a starter, he did win 4 straight weeks. Weeks 14, 15, 16, he missed week 17, but also won in week 18. And obviously it's matchup dependent. These stats are pretty abysmal, like a max of 250 passing yards. But, you know, it's still Kevin O'Connell. He has a bit more experience under his belt now. A rookie season after a big injury I'm willing to give him a little bit of a benefit of the doubt, but really the reason I'm interested is because of his rushing potential. He had 4 rushing touchdowns, 25 and a score in week 1 against Chicago. You know, he has some spike week potential, thanks to the rushing value. That's really the only reason why I'm super compelled. But he did add 48 rushing yards on 5 carries against Baltimore in a loss. The Ravens, I believe, had a decent run defense, if I'm not mistaken. Their secondary was trash last year, but you know, he's not going to put up 0 points. And I kind of am holding out that Rodgers could be the Vikings quarterback, but I doubt it at this point. And while there are some rumors that they're interested in Kyler Murray, they're interested in a trade for maybe Tua. They have no cap space. They're literally like one of the last teams in terms of cap space. And I think they're going to give him a shot to stay the guy. Definitely going to bring in a backup to compete with him, but I at least think he's like viable to hit our lineup maybe 3 or 4 times over the course of the season. I could see like 4 games where he gives you 25 points. I could see that from McCarthy. Matchup dependent by a mile. We don't get Freiermuth, but that's okay. I wasn't really planning for another tight end. But we're going to grab one more running back, one more wide receiver. Our quarterback room's a little bit gross, but here's the thing. I mentioned it. We are so effing tied to Kyren Williams. And like a running back this late can absolutely put up a 0, and like we're just screwed in the first place. So I'm planning on Jarquez Hunter, but I can't imagine we get sniped. Instead, we're going to go Keenan Allen as our 7th receiver. We haven't drafted one since Denzel Boston picked 111. But we'll go Keenan with a potential reunion with Herbert. That's another stacking option. And this team feels interesting. I'll tell you that. It's definitely interesting. Is it going to work? I'm not sure. I'm not totally sure, but I definitely think it's possible to work out. I don't want to dismiss it. That's for sure. But we have a lot of variables at running back. Definitely a lot of scenarios that can go poorly. And the only thing that would wreck this team is if Bats snipes me on Jarquez Hunter just out of spite. But he does not. He goes Tez Johnson. And literally, the only thing that can wreck this team is if Kyren goes down like week 2, and we have no like solid contributions from Kyren. So just as an insurance policy to cover my ass, it's round 20. Who gives a shit? If that happens, give me Jarquez Hunter with a year 2 breakout potential. Give me Jarquez Hunter on a team like this. Need the 8th running back. Let's remind you how it went. We got sniped on Genty. The plan was to go Genty Bowers. Muggsy said, nope, not a chance. Instead, we get Amon-Ra at a pretty awesome value, pick 10. I think you can take him as early as pick 5, honestly. I'm taking him after JSN most of the time, so I'm not like, 35% Amon-Ra. But definitely one of the safest, really compelling picks in round 1, especially at receiver. Love him at pick 10. Then we go Bowers for the elite tight end. Kyren Williams for our hero running back. And then we grab 3 wide receivers. Another Ram with Devontae Adams. We missed out on the Stafford stack, but that's okay. We have Adams. Then we got Christian Watson at a minor discount. I'm fine with that. Jordan Tyson circles back in round 6. I almost took Marvin Harrison, but I'm kind of happy with the rookie wide receiver here. And then Justin Herbert with a major backstack with Quentin Johnston as our 5th wide receiver. Oronde Gadsden is our tight end 2. Then we grab Denzel Boston, hoping for a good landing spot. If he's with Buffalo, watch him skyrocket. If he's with the Chiefs, watch him skyrocket. If he's with Seattle, I think that would also be pretty fire. I would like that a lot. And then we hit a 6th-round running back investment just to get back into the position. We go Emmett Johnson at pick 130. Nice value on him. I almost took him instead of Denzel Boston, honestly. We go J.K. Dobbins in the 12th, Rashad White in the 13th, Tyjae Spears in round 14. Hopefully Pollard fucks up and maybe gets injured or something. But I do believe in Tajay this season quite a bit. A good value, if you ask me. Tank Bigsby, I'm heavily fading Saquon. He'd be a great handcuff to own in Philly if Saquon does get hurt. And Saquon's going to be, I believe, 30 at the end of the year. Brian Robinson Jr., hoping for a good landing spot, but maybe he's McCaffrey's handcuff again. That'd be pretty fire. And then we had to get back in at quarterback. Missed out on Mendoza by one click. Wish I had Mendoza here, but it's okay. Instead, we have Rodgers, who I feel compelled will be the starter. And then J.J. McCarthy for some rushing value. Just going so late. He's essentially free. We needed someone. It's maybe not my favorite click, but it's fine. I'm not going to be super upset with McCarthy when I need a running back really badly. And then Keenan hopefully comes back. Definitely rumored to be a player of interest with the Chargers. So if that happens, we do have another stacking option with Justin Herbert. And then just to make sure I get points out of the Rams backfield, we do grab Jarquez Hunter in round 20, a player that's going undrafted, so also puts us in a unique scenario. Not too many teams are going to roster Jarquez Hunter, but really, I'm just covering my ass in case Kyren misses any time. If I miss out on the points from Kyren, I might be fucked. This team might be just dead in the water if Kyren goes down. So at least give me some insurance policy, but when you go with this strategy where you're drafting your RB2 in round 11, it's risky as fuck. You know the risk involved if you're in this situation. But honestly, don't hate it. A 3-8-7-2 absolutely requires at least 7 running backs on this team. And maybe we could have grabbed a third tight end, but when you have Bowers and Gadsden, fuck that, man. I don't think I need a third. Not on this team. So a unique build. I've been loving the Hero RB. And when you get names like this, like these are the names I really love late. Dobbins, White, Tajay, Tank Bigsby, Brian Robinson. Love them in that range. I think they're 2 of the last ones I feel pretty confident with. And then the swing on rookie Emmett Johnson, that could be one of the steals of the draft. So I think this team is viable. I don't know if it's my favorite combo in the Hero RB strategy, but I think it's legit, and I think it can compete, especially as long as Rodgers does stay in the NFL. Anyways, not today. No, we don't have the site credit yet. But anyways, Huhames, I believe this is in regards to our green log, our 6 straight RBs. Emmett, this I think is what you're talking about. Yeah, that likely bagel in week 15 screwed me so bad, man. It sucked even more because I would have won the next 2 matchups in the playoffs. I would have been the champ had River Rat not beaten me in week 15. Such a bummer. But you know, if you're gonna get beat by someone in the wildcard round, you want them to win the championship. That way you can just imagine what would have happened. But it is what it is. Can't win them all. But yeah, that's what happened. Sorry for late check on this question, Bryson. We have, if you had a crystal ball and can glimpse into the future, which free agent running back would you want to know their landing spot? Good question. I mean, it seems pretty likely that Brees is just a Jet, but I would love to know if Brees is going to be on a different team. But now that Javante's with the Cowboys, that's really the best landing spot, in my opinion. So, I think it's a bit more interesting to take a swing on somebody later that's a free agent. So, like, Rachaad White, I think, is someone that could land somewhere and be the number 1. I think he's someone that I would really like to know. Otherwise, I would love to know where Tyler Algier is going to land. That's pretty compelling. But probably the most valuable name is probably Travis Etienne. If Etienne is going to be back with the Jags or not, that has major implications. Like, if that's the case, then I don't have enough Baishal Tootin. If he's going to leave the Jaguars, then I'm going to get screwed with Tootin's price hike later on. But he's talented enough where he can go anywhere and still contribute from like day one. So I think ETN is probably the most valuable name to know, but in terms of like later round players that can really swing things, Algier is definitely up there. Rico Dowdle, also a name, but probably the biggest like value is going to be Rachaad White. So I've been taking a lot of Rachaad White with the hopes that he does go to Washington. I think that's a really, really ideal spot. But Angus loves the music. Shout out Jamie. Thank you so much for the music. Maybe we pivot to the other song. We do have another song, and perhaps this one's been on a loop for a little bit too much. So let's turn that one down. And then, is there anyone else that would like a team review? We had a lot of y'all in this lobby with me. So before I move on, let me know if you would like my thoughts. But obviously, no need to. Don't want to waste anyone's time. Nuketown Kid would also like to know where Rachaad White goes. I think that's a huge like variable. And if you tell me it's Washington, that's what I'm really, really crossing my fingers for. I would love that. I'd also think it'd be interesting if if Arizona moved on from James Conner and brought in Rachaad White. Rachaad White played for Arizona State, so he definitely has some ties to that part of the country. Maybe he would like to go back to his hometown, or at least where he was in college. I don't remember if Rachaad is from Arizona or not. I feel like he's from Florida, but maybe I'm confusing him with someone. In high school, he's from Missouri. Never mind. Just definitely much different. But in college, played for Arizona State after Nebraska and Mount San Antonio Junior College. But Arizona State. Let's check out his college stats real quick. Let's pull them up. A reminder, if anyone is in this lobby and would like a team review, let me know. But Rachaad White, from a pass catching standpoint, was so effing good his senior year in college. 43 catches, 456 receiving yards, and then a total 16 touchdowns on the year. We'll just spotlight him real quick. Loved him coming out of college, but some really, really good games. 7 for 64, 2 touchdowns. 22 for 90, 2 touchdowns. 15 for 71 and a touchdown. Had 9 catches in that game for 65 yards. 11 for 37, not impressive, but a touchdown. 5 catches for 70 and a touchdown. That's impressive. His game against USC was fucking awesome. Go ahead and check that game tape out. 28 carries, 202 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then 2 catches for 35 yards. But their defense was trash that season. They really put up no competition on defense. But damn, that one was his like real coming out party. 3 touchdowns on 30 touches. And then the week after had 32 carries at Washington for 184 and 2 touchdowns. Another 5 catches for 53 yards. That was also an insane game out of Rachaad White. So I still believe in him. I think he's pretty good, and I don't think he's old enough where you want to just write him off. He just turned 27 in January. He's a Capricorn. Love that. Fellow Capricorn. I'm also a Capricorn. And there's also like, I mean, maybe you don't give a fuck about astrology, but there's actually a lot of like really good running backs who have been Capricorns. And there are NFL teams that use astrology in some of their decision making. It might shock you, but I did watch a like mini documentary on the Ravens, and the Ravens brought in Derrick Henry trying to get like a double Capricorn backfield with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. They're both Capricorns. Nick Chubb is a Capricorn. Devontae Adams is a Capricorn. Rachaad White's a Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn, but not going to pretend like that's the only thing that leads to good athleticism. Not going to go that far, but do love me, a fellow Capricorn. Anyways, looks like Danimal would like a team review. Danimal in here at the 4 spot went with the Jamar Chase Burrow combo. And let's take a look at his full roster. Quarterbacks has Joe Burrow, Cam Ward, Kirk Cousins. Definitely a better room than I have. At running back has Bucky Irving, Kenneth Walker, Scadaboo, Tyron Tracy, James Conner. A little risky, but you have the double Giants. At least you're getting the Giants RB1 every week. That's not bad. But James Conner scares me quite a bit. At his age, with his injury risk, personally, I would have liked a fifth because you also have a lot of injury risk with Scadaboo. Um, but you invested pretty heavily early on when round two, round oh no, is this round two, round three, and round four with running back. You reached on Bucky. That's interesting. So at least it's unique. Not many combinations with Bucky and Kenneth Walker in the contest, but let's see how the rest of the team worked out. Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Michael Pittman, DJ Moore, Troy Franklin, Chimeri DK, Elik Ayamanor for the double stack. Right? You have Cam Ward, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you do. You do have that. And then Malik Washington, Malachi Fields, Andre Yoshivas. Don't see him taken too often, but don't hate the click at all. I think that's okay. And then Tyler Warren, George Kittle. Damn, bro. Pretty fucking risky. I think I might agree. You have 10 receivers, only 5 running backs, and Connor and Scadaboo. I think you need another running back, bro. I think you did. I think you might have needed another tight end as well. I think this team might have benefit from a 3-6-8-3 build. I think if I might have pivoted, the click I don't love these days is Elik Ayamanor. I'm much more in the camp of Chimeri DK. I also believe they might be bringing in a wide receiver in either the first or second round, especially if it's first round. Like if they bring in Carnell Tate, then yikes. I'm not going to be even as high on DK after that. But who knows? They might bring in someone in round 2 because there's like much better talent at defensive tackle, and wide receiver at the top of round 2 is pretty solid this year in the draft. So it's probably not going to be that bad if that's the case. But if you're telling me they have to compete with like Carnell Tate, I'd be a little worried about this. So who did you pass up on in terms of running backs? I might have taken a swing on Jonathan Brooks, honestly, instead of Franklin. I'm not in love with the Troy Franklin click personally. He's fine, but I'd rather go like Omar Cooper Jr. than Troy Franklin personally. But I could definitely be wrong as well. I might have taken a swing on Jonathan Brooks, or instead of Ayamanor, maybe brought in like Ray Davis or Emmanuel Wilson, someone like that. But this was a weird room. Definitely, I'm sure I made the room pretty strange with my strategy. Decided to zig. Decided to zag today when everybody else is zigging. But I don't totally hate it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite combo I've seen. I think running back is just a little too risky with Scadaboo and James Conner. Some major injury concerns. I think you needed a 6th. And then I also think you needed a third tight end when you have Kittle with some injury risk. But I don't think it's egregious. I think it's totally fine at tight end at least. But maybe a swing on a rookie running back instead of Fields. That might have been interesting. Or instead of Pittman, what could you have done? I don't click Pittman too much. I don't blame you for doing what you did. I think just taking what the board leaves you. Like you were saying earlier, sharp ass room. I think you got sniped, unfortunately, a few too many times. Like the Jadarian Price would have been really nice on this team instead of Pittman. I think if you had Price instead of Pittman, I would like this team a lot more. But I don't hate it. I just think it's a bit risky. Definitely a bit risky. But you agree. High risk. Very fair. Anyways, I think we're going to hop into another one. No one else has requested. Bryson did. Bryson did request a team review. Let's take a look at Bryson's team out of the 8 slot. Started Christian McCaffrey and Malik Neighbors. How did it go? Has Jackson Dart, Mahomes, and Richardson at QB. I like the quarterback room a lot, man. That's a pretty fire combo. The swing on Richardson, I think, is worth it. Given like the state of quarterback this year, not many rookies entering the draft with much safety net. I think Richardson could definitely get traded and definitely will get some snaps this year. So I think it's fine to click Richardson, especially in the 19th round. I think you're trying to get ahead of me with my potential quarterback desperation. But running back looks pretty solid. CMC, RJ Harvey, DeAndre Swift at the top. It's pretty good. And with 6, you got good bites at the apple. Trey Benson could definitely pop off at a good value as well. Pick 152. He fell 17 picks. Love that for you. Love to get Benson at a value. I'm never reaching on Benson, but I think he's a solid player to take if he's falling. Braylon Allen fell massively. I remember passing on him twice. So to scoop it up, I think is totally fair. And then to also add DJ Giddens, I like that. I think he's also a compelling handcuff. Maybe not as valuable as like Tank Bigsby, but obviously he's going several rounds later. So final round, someone that doesn't get drafted that often. I like DJ Giddens to mix in a lot. I love the running back room. Love that. And then wide receiver looks pretty strong as well with Neighbors, Tet McMillan, Terry McLaurin, Xavier Worthy stacked up with Mahomes. That's pretty good. Also 7 picks past ADP. You have Jaden Reed, a player I think is valuable where he's going in that range. I do like to click Jaden Reed. Debo Samuel, also 8 picks past ADP. Good value on Debo. Pretty solid there. Zachariah Branch, not my favorite rookie, but at this point in time, we can't say definitively which rookies are going to be good or not. Landing spot is super important, and the combine has not taken place at that position yet. So I think it's fine to mix in. And then Ryan Flournoy that late, I'm fine with Flournoy. And then, damn, the tight end room is also pretty fire. You did reach a little bit on Strange, but I don't hate it. Travis Kelce, one of my favorite clicks this year, been taking a ton of him because I think he does play. I don't believe Kelce's going to retire yet. And then Theo Johnson, especially with the Jackson Dart stack. You have Neighbors and Theo Johnson stacked up, man. I think you have a fire team. Really, really good. Running back is strong, especially at the top. As long as McCaffrey stays healthy, I would assume this team probably is going to advance. You have to finish top 3 in the big board to advance. So I would assume this is probably one of the teams in the mix there to definitely get their money back. I think the team is really well constructed, well built, and nice depth everywhere. Love the Kelce click, especially the Kelce click, given your room. With Mahomes and Worthy, really good team, bro. Really, really nice team. Yes, Bats, you did get sniped on Strange. Tough lobby today for Bats at the 11. I'm just gonna take a quick look at Bats. I'm not gonna go super in depth. You didn't request it, but I'm just curious how it turned out for you. Lawrence Baker, Shador. You will take a review, no worries. James Cook, Hampton, always love teams that start that way. Mainungai at ADP. I don't take him like crazy at ADP, but I don't think he's a terrible investment. JCM, not my favorite click, but almost 10 picks past ADP, so that's not bad. Sean Tucker, also an interesting handcuff option because he could have the goal line role locked up in Tampa. That's definitely possible. And then you also have Dylan Sampson and Damon Claiborne, so 7 running backs. Pretty good room. And then the swing with Claiborne, he's like super high boom bust. If he hits, he has like tremendous upside. And then wide receiver, only 7, but let's take a look. T. Higgins, Ladd McConkey, Brian Thomas, Mike Evans. That's a pretty fire top 4. Chris Godwin also paired up with Baker Mayfield. Love that. Jerry Jeudy at ADP. I'm not in love with Jeudy at ADP, but he's going to get you points. He's not a terrible click at all. And then Tez Johnson also for the Baker stack. I've taken Tez quite a few times. And then you waited on tight end, but I think it worked out for you. You have Goddard and Njoku and Cade Otton. If Otton has a good landing spot, then he's definitely valuable outside the top 200. And then it's probably likely he just returns to the Bucs in the first place. So I think it's a very well-stacked team. Slightly risky at receiver with only 7, but only because you waited until the 3rd round to take your first. But I think it's fine, man. I think it's totally fine. Maybe I would have grabbed a receiver instead of Dylan Sampson. That's maybe the only thing, because I don't love to take a Browns handcuff running back. But I suppose you're gonna. I like Trey Tucker in this range. I like Torrey Horton in this range. I like Isaac Tesla in this range. I prefer them personally over Dylan Sampson. So that's fine. But perhaps the Jeudy click The Browns decisions, I think, are the only ones I might have taken back. The Judy click isn't my favorite. The Sampson click isn't my favorite. But you have them stacked up with Shador. So who the fuck am I to argue with you? Definitely correlated. I like the team, man. I think it's pretty good. Especially given you missed out on your Herbo stack. You managed to make it work. Definitely calm down enough. I think it works out. I think it's not bad at all. I agree with Bryson here. It's good to have a piece of the Jags offense. Definitely feels like a good team to invest in. But yeah, definitely might not work out. But he is under contract at the moment. Is he getting cut? I think he might be competing with maybe Mekhi Lemon or someone. But he's still only 27. He's getting paid $17.5 million per year, but Stefanski did bring him in, and he might get cut, but I think it'll happen next year. Actually, no, there's too much dead money on his contract next season. I think they're going to keep him for 2 more years. I don't think he'll play for them in 2028. Watch him get cut so they can save $19 million, but I do not believe he's getting cut this season. And they're going to be trailing. They're going to have some game script that just requires them to chuck it. So he'll have a couple spike weeks, not many. He's not a player I like to take. Only if he falls am I like excited about it. But he's not egregious. I'll put it that way. He's not an egregious click. He's going late enough to justify. But yeah, I would assume pretty likely they're drafting a receiver in the top 10. I think more likely than not, that's going to happen. They're not going to draft a running back, that's for sure. Not going to be Jeremiah Love. And their defense, I think, is solid enough. Their offensive line isn't like as good as it used to be, but their receiving depth is terrible. So I definitely agree with this take, Huhames. That's one reason why I'm a little bit worried about Tate. We did take Tyson on my team, so that could be problematic. But who knows? Maybe they take Mekhi Lemon. One final reminder how my team went. Definitely risky, but we go Herbert, Aaron Rodgers, JJ McCarthy. Come on, Herbo, show up for me. Running back, very risky, but when you go hero RB, you got to take some stances. Kyron, Emmett Johnson, J.K. Dobbins, Rashad White, Tyjae Spears, Tank Bigsby, Brian Robinson, Jarquez Hunter, and then at receiver, this is the strength of the team. Amon-Ra, Devontae Adams, Christian Watson, Jordan Tyson, Quentin Johnston, Denzel Boston, and Keenan Allen. And then tight end, we have Brock Bowers and Aronste Gadsden. So wide receiver tight end is strong. Quarterback is very risky, but I think can be viable at least. And then running back, we just have enough bites at the apple. Someone's going to hit in a combination that I think can keep me viable. But like, if somehow, like, let's say Pollard goes down mid-season and Saquon goes down in the playoffs, we could get 20 plus points from both Tyjae and Tank Bigsby. We could get a starter with Rashad White or Emmett Johnson. And then I think we also have a starter in Dobbins. And then obviously we have the Rams RB1 with Kyron. I don't hate it, but obviously it's risky. And I don't do this all the time, but just wanted to showcase it. We're going to move on though. We're going to draft another one. We're going to hop into the little board now. $3 entry. I'll pull it up on my phone. So if anyone wants to join, they can. And now let's head over to the other song. We got another song that is now playing. This one's different than the first one. But anyways, I'm going to pull up the little board in just a moment. If you would like to hop in with me. I still have 8 little boards left, and I wanted to save like 6 of them for after the combine is over. So we're going to draft one today, make some stances while we still can, and we are ready on the phone. So if you would like to draft with me, go ahead and hit that button in 3, 2, 1. Hit that button right now, and then I'm on a minor delay. I'm going to hit it myself right now, and it should be synced up enough where we're in the same lobby. There's 9 more picks left. There's 9 more spots. in this lobby. So if anyone would like it, come get it. But I have noticed that the little board has been filling pretty slowly sometimes. Just because a lot of people maxed it pretty fast, and some of the big degens are just not eligible, which is actually kind of good. I'm actually kind of happy that we don't have to worry about some of the more seasoned drafters in this tournament. If anything, you're going to get some more like unique lobby combinations because of the teams that have not yet filled the little board yet. But I definitely expect a lot of new people to come in after the combine. So I definitely wanted to save some entries for those situations. I think it's good to kind of like diversify when you draft in a tournament. I like to try to stay in line with the fill rate, but I got a little trigger happy early on. So currently it's at 39% essentially. We're just shy of 40% full, and this is my 13th entry into the little board, so I'm at 65%. A little bit faster than I would have liked. Ideally, I would still have about 10 left at this point in time, but it's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world at all. Anyways, there's still 6 spots. If you would like one or in the little board, come on down and get it. Hopefully it doesn't take too much time, but like I was saying, sometimes these do take a little bit longer. So is your last $3? Yeah, this is what I was saying. Yeah. Some people can't help themselves, but in terms of like practicing, I totally get filling the little board first. You know what I mean? Like it's sorry, Williams wants me to turn this up a little bit. There it is. All music today made by Jamie Pirog in here in the channel, one of the moderators. But awesome music by Jamie. Thank you so much, man. Hopefully I can get on your stream. I believe we said Monday. I think we said Monday. I also posted the link to your channel right here. Let me do that again. Go ahead, give Jamie some love. Head over to his channel, drop a sub, check out his content, and hopefully I'll be on it on Monday if everything goes as planned. But if not, I'll be on it soon in the coming week, and then hopefully not too long after that, he'll be on our channel as well. I'm still trying to figure out StreamYard a little bit. I want to be like seasoned and not have to have any like troubleshooting when I go live with StreamYard and a guest. So I almost did that today, but then I kind of just fell back into the habit of using OBS. Once you're like super comfortable with a certain format, it's tough to pivot and make a change. Sometimes change is very uncomfortable, but I think we'll be on StreamYard pretty soon because I paid for it. Definitely got to use it, and I would like to have some guests on in the coming weeks. Next week, we're going to try and do a collab as well with Fantasy Football Garage, the Candyman. I think I'll be on his channel next Thursday, and hopefully we can have Huhames back on the channel soon. We definitely spoke about that when we were collaborating together. What was that? 2 weeks ago? I think it was just 1 week ago. Yeah, just last week. But hopefully me and Huhames will do some more collabs soon. Yeah, I'm a little bit busy at the moment, but perhaps on Wednesday, maybe on Wednesday. But if not, the week after, at the moment, is currently wide open. So in the next 2 weeks, 100%, we'll collab again with Huhames. And once I'm a little bit more comfortable with StreamYard and stuff, I'll definitely have it live next time. Definitely live next time. Yeah, no worries, man. I've been trying to reach out to other content creators and just set up some times, and so I don't want to ignore some of the commitments I've already made. But yeah, 100% we will connect again with names. Absolutely. NapGod asking, is this a big board? No, this is a little board. $3 little board. But I will probably do one more big board after this, assuming the live stream doesn't go too late. Depending on how long it takes for this thing to fill, we'll see about that. They better launch something Monday. You think they will? I feel like, unless it's a $3 tournament, I don't feel like the little board is filling fast enough. But especially after the combine, I could 100% see them do that. Maybe a little $5 contest with like maybe 10 entries max. I think, if I had to guess, I have no idea. I'm not going to put words in their mouth or assume I know what their strategy is, but I assume their plan with these contests at the moment was to get you to deposit as much as possible. Like, if you can do 150 big boards and only 20 little boards, like, that's a huge disparity of how much money we can put in. Like, 1,500 to max the big board as opposed to $60 to max the little board. Like, I think they would maybe also be getting a few more deposits as well if they had another contest. So I agree with you. They're probably going to launch something soon, but who knows? Anyways, still waiting on one person in this little board. Should be starting pretty soon, but yeah, we'll see about that. I agree. The 20 max feels too low on a $3 buy-in. Feels way too low. Bryson says, I'd like to see you appear in a major box office movie so I can explain to my buddies I was in your BestBall lobbies. I wish that I didn't get like terrified about confidentiality while I was on set the last 2 days. Okay, get this. This literally scared the fuck out of me. Let me pivot to just the single shot real quick. Let's get serious for a moment. So, on Monday, when I told you I was going to be on set on Tuesday, Jamie asked, like, what's the title? And I dropped it. I told you what the... we get the 101. Fuck yeah, we get the 101. This lobby is full. Anyways, I mentioned it, and then I was on set Tuesday morning, and I overheard somebody else that does background tell me about a story where he was doing background with a woman that decided to post spoilers on her Instagram page. A week later, she was sued for $100,000. I don't want to take that risk, bro. I got fucking scared. I made that video members only, even though all I said was just the name of the fucking thing. I don't want that shit to happen, man. Imagine winning the fucking contest. Isn't the payout for this contest $100K? Yeah, imagine winning the little board and all of that goes to paying the fucking legal fees because I said something that I'm not supposed to. You know, I got fucking terrified. Holy shit, that scared the shit out of me, man. Anyways, we're taking Bijan. Yikes. I cannot reveal any information. I'm not gonna name drop anything. Whew. All I can tell you is that I worked on a set. Last 2 days, I was on set. That is the only thing I can say. But until it airs, I am not going to disclose any other information. Also, like, I don't have any, like, juicy details to mention. It would just be name dropping who works on the set, and what's the point of that? Anyways. Yeah, this would be viable. I think this would be fun. They filled the war room already, so, like, this would be a tournament that I think would fill probably fast. If they wanted to fill a tournament in a day, it'll be those $1 entries. You know, like, give us a little Dalmatian, something like that. Yo, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, Ames. No, I can't even say that. I can't even say that, man. Yeah, if you want to get me hit in the face with a spitball, watch season 2, episode 15, and My Name Is Earl. Watch a apple just get shattered on the back of my head. Those are. I also got choked out in that. I do my own stunts, man. I've done some legit stunts. No CGI for me. I agree to the stunt coordinator's desires. I've been choked out on camera. I've gotten a spitball gun to the forehead. I've been in some fight scenes. That was something else, but I can only talk about the stuff that is already aired. That's all I can talk about. Not something that's in the works. They even gave me a fucking. Have you ever heard of a pick patch? They gave me this sticker, this red sticker that you put on the back of your phone to block the camera, and then it has a little strip that wraps around the front and even covers the front camera. They were private as fuck on set last 2 days. I do not want to take any chances. I do not want to get sued for $100K. That is not the move. Definitely not the move. Scared me. When I heard that, I was like, oh fuck. No, thank you. When I Googled it, it didn't exist yet. So I might have gotten a fake name, but I'm just not going to take any chances. Let's change the subject. Anyways. My actual name is Adam Riancho. And if you find me on IMDb, I do not have a headshot on there. I do not have the headshot. We're going to go Pickens for sure. And then we're also going to get a little jiggy with it. We're going to go George Pickens, A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, I love in the third round. I could have gone Olave here, but there's going to be a lot more teams with Bijan, Pickens, and Olave. Let's mix it up a little bit. A player I'm very comfortable with anywhere in the third. I think if he gets traded, could absolutely move on to the second round again. And I'll take A.J. Brown here at the turn. Just to get a little bit different. Also, if he stays in Philly, we have some divisional correlation between the Cowboys and the Eagles in the NFC East. But I forgot to mention, we do have Huhames in here at the 5. Sweet. Drafting with Huhames on the channel. Nice to see you, man. Got a little distracted. Bryson in here as well. Dope to see you, my friend. And then big game, Jamie's in here. Jamie is the man behind the music. If you're enjoying the soundtrack today, the background music is all made by Jamie. Fantastic instrumentals. And yeah, definitely increasing the vibe a little bit. And today there's no ads. Wanted to just spotlight the music. And also I didn't go live last 2 days, so just a little thank you, I guess, for popping in and coming back on the channel. I missed the live stream last couple days. I really wish I could have, but literally didn't get home until like 10 p.m. on Thursday, and then yesterday I left set at 1 a.m. I got home at 1:30. Fuck. Yesterday was rough. Yeah, it's a fun job. It's definitely unique. It's always different. I don't do it all the time. It's not like the most consistent employment, but I really enjoy and feel like, you know, a bit blessed to be able to do that. It's pretty cool. Not the most common job, and very grateful for being in the union. Absolutely grateful for that. But are you being sarcastic, Huhames? But or yeah, you're not normally joining me in the streamed lobbies. That's for sure. But I don't blame you, especially when like you just went live on your channel a couple times. Like if you already just dropped some cash, I definitely don't blame you to hop into every single lobby. If anything, sometimes spectating, you get a better understanding of like the person's takes that you're trying to listen to, you know? Definitely an opportunity to focus in a little bit more. Yes, this is, yeah, 100%. I feel you. I've been trying to cool it a little bit on joining other people's streams last week or so. Like I mentioned at the top, my budget's been a little bit tight this month. Birthday and Valentine's Day, a little bit rougher on the wallet than I intended, but it was fun. No regrets. No, Sweetleaf is never in here. But oh, we also have the Cobra in at pick 10 goes James Cook Hampton and then Ladd and Garrett Wilson. So probably gonna set up a whatchamacallit, Herbo click. But love any team that starts James Cook Hampton. That's my favorite way to start. I genuinely think both guys are round one clicks, and I think they could both be better than Jonathan Taylor. I think both of them have an argument that they're the RB3 this season. In terms of a floor, I think they're both locked into top 10, and they're both super bust proof. Love to take them. Javonte goes. Would have loved Javonte, but we get a really solid price on Devontae Smith. I'm happy with that. Pretty happy with that. And damn, I really wish I got Javonte, but that's okay. 100% taking Devontae Smith here, though. And if he goes to the Browns, I'm going to be pissed about it. Fuck it, I'll go RJ Harvey. I almost never take RJ Harvey. I don't think you've ever seen me on the stream draft RJ Harvey, but we have both Eagles receivers, especially if a trade happens, then both of them are going to be smash clicks. And yeah, it's actually been kind of tough to have the combo of AJ Brown and Devontae Smith on the same team. So ideally, this lobby is generous enough to leave us Jalen Hurts, but I was not going to pull up Jalen Hurts there. That's for sure. I'll take him if he's there at pick 72, but that'd be pretty nice if we do get him. Anyways, Jamie says my underdog is glitching. You go CMC, Drake London, Kyron, and Devontae Adams. So far, you're doing pretty good. I have no complaints on your start so far. I think it's a pretty good team. McCaffrey at the 9. London there. Kyron, I think, is a good click, and then especially the Adams-Rams combo. We just did that ourselves in the last draft, so I'm not going to shit on that. So far, I like Big Game's team. I like Huhaim's approach. Scadaboo a little bit risky, but definitely some elite upside if he's fine, if he's healthy enough. He can drop 25 points plus any given week, so I know Huhaim's loves to draft Scadaboo. A very legit click. And then Waddle also feels like a safe asset in the 5th. I almost took Waddle, but I knew that running back was going to be like super gross in the next round, and we'd either get like sniped on Bishal Tootin or feel like we had to take Bishal Tootin in the next round. So taking RJ Harvey just for the diversity. I have so many investments in J.K. Dobbins. I should maybe make a pivot to RJ Harvey, assuming maybe Dobbins doesn't return. I think it's maybe like an 80% chance that Dobbins returns to Denver. But if he doesn't, then RJ Harvey's definitely poised to break out for the full season. He had a solid breakout, but only after Dobbins went down. Let's take a look at RJ Harvey while we can. We got a lot of time around the turn, so how did his rookie season go? It was pretty bad until Dobbins went down. We did look at Dobbins earlier. We know that Dobbins got injured in week 10, so that's the week to really focus on. Starting in week 11 through 18, as the starter, let's take a look at RJ Harvey's per game stats here. 13.7 carries for 47 yards is not impressive. 3.4 yards per carry, and J.K. Dobbins averaged 5 yards per carry. That is not impressive at all. The only thing that is impressive is that he had 5 rushing touchdowns in 7 games and a receiving touchdown. So nearly a touchdown every single week. Had 4.1 targets per game, 3.1 receptions per game, 26 receiving yards per game. So all in all, let me do some math at the top of my head right now. That's about 8.5 points without the touchdowns, and then nearly a touchdown per week. He had almost 15 points per game on average as the starter on only 3.4 yards per carry and roughly 17 touches per game. That's not like insane, just because it's so touchdown dependent. I don't know if I'm like that compelled to say RJ Harvey's gonna smash, but I want to diversify a little bit. Don't take him too often, and definitely, yeah, we absolutely got sniped on Baishal Tutin there. Parlay Fantasy takes him at 65, so I would have been pretty disgruntled if we got sniped on Jalen Warren, and like even if Ramondre was my RB2, it's not ideal. I think if you're not getting Ramondre at a discount, it's not my favorite click. But Dak Prescott goes to the team with Lamb, so we're not going to stack him up with Pickens. Who Hames takes DK Metcalf. And then these next 2 teams went early QB, so maybe B. Davy snipes me on Hurts, but I would expect that we're going to have Jalen Hurts on this team. Barring a snipage. But that team has Luther Burden. I assume they're probably going to grab Caleb Williams here. That's my guess. No, they passed. Interesting. So Jalen Hurts 100%. When we have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, that's clearly the pick. And then I think he might be gambling that we pass on Caleb, but round 7 Caleb, I can't pass it up. We're gonna grab 2 elite QBs in the 6-7 turn, and maybe our third is gonna be like Mac Jones or Kirk Cousins super late. I'm not gonna be desperate for quarterback at all. If we get a good value, I'll do it, but I'm fine taking Caleb unstacked. Maybe I should have gone Luther Burden in hindsight, but it is what it is. Caleb has rushing value. Caleb, I think, has a legit chance to be the quarterback 3, quarterback 2, even quarterback 1 potentially. Year 2 in the system with Ben Johnson, he improved dramatically over time. And I think he's only going to be better this year. I think the Bears are my favorite pick to make the Super Bowl in the NFC next year. Early pick for the Super Bowl, I'm going to spoil it right now. Chargers versus Bears is my early Super Bowl pick. The AFC is completely wide open, completely up for grabs. I think the Chargers with healthy tackles are going to be a nightmare. With Mike McDaniel, the offense is going to be legit. And the Super Bowl is in Los Angeles at SoFi. They are going to go all in for sure. So maybe Justin Herbert cannot win a playoff game and is just really that bad. But I think this is the year where there's just no more excuses, and it's all going to come together. Call me a homer all you want, but I believe the Chargers are capable of making the Super Bowl, and I genuinely believe that the Bears will make it in the coming years. Give me Bears versus Chargers at SoFi. On Valentine's Day, next year, 2027, Super Bowl falls on February 14th on Valentine's Day. Give me a Bears versus Chargers Super Bowl next season. And Caleb, I think, can absolutely pay off as the QB 3 potentially. We get him as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quarterback 8 in this draft. That would be absolutely his floor, if you ask me. I do not think Caleb is going to be worse than the top 10 quarterback. So QB 8 off the board, fantastic. Jalen Hurts for the, at the moment, double stack with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. And you would assume they're play caller does improve. It's not Petulo anymore. So maybe Jalen Hurts does bounce back in a major way. But I've also heard that the tush push is not expected to be banned. Definitely could get banned. That would be a problem. But for the sake of the stack, it's absolutely the pick I want. Huhaim says, I just got Rams, Chargers, both home game. Yeah, that's also possible. The Rams are definitely in the Super Bowl bubble, 100%. Not going to dismiss Rams making it that far. But they were this close to losing to the Bears, and I think the Bears are going to take a bit of a leap forward. I think the Bears have a better cap space situation. I think they have higher draft picks, if I'm not mistaken. I trust Ben Johnson, and I think if they address some pieces on defense, as well as maybe another offensive lineman, like... Oh, are they in a bad cap situation? I forgot about that. I guess I haven't... Oh, yeah, Bears are actually in the negative by 8.3. Okay. I'm sure they'll adjust it, but yeah, okay, I must have mistaken them with someone else. I thought they had a better situation. The Rams are in a very good situation. Okay, yeah, maybe you're right, Huhames. Maybe the Rams are a bit more set to ascend. You know the Rams are also in that conversation. Always when they have that quarterback and coach combination.
Nice and blunt.
Anyways, Diggs comes off the board. I'm going to go DJ Moore, hoping that he does not go to a different team. And then I think I'm going to push tight end. And we're going to take a swing on Tyler Algier, hoping for a good landing spot, getting back in at running back before the position dries up too much. And here's the lobby so far. Here's the board. Our team so far. We go Bijan at the 101. Round 2 and 3, we grab George Pickens, A.J. Brown. We get Devontae Smith to fall, I believe, 5 picks to pair up with A.J. Brown. And then we scoop up R.J. Harvey, but I kind of wish I took Luther Burden. Then we took Jalen Hurts and Caleb Williams. So Caleb is unstacked at the moment. Don't think I can find a stack for him later on. Everybody else, other than DJ Moore, goes later. So we do get DJ Moore at least. There's someone, but watch DJ Moore get traded, and it doesn't line up. And then Algier, a very compelling, very interesting free agent running back who, especially if he does leave the Falcons, should pop off, should be much better this season because he's not tied behind Bijan Robinson. But worst comes to worst, we get the Falcons RB1 every week, and don't hate it so far, but we'll see what happens. Huhaim says they're trying to trade their linebacker, who's a stud right now. I wonder what they can get for him. Which linebacker are they trying to trade? Danimal spotlighting Huhaim's team. Yeah, pretty good start. JSN, Jeremiah Love, nice price on Love. Olave, good click in the mid-third. Scattaboo, a little risky, but elite upside should work out. Waddle, a pretty good click. Metcalf, nice. And then Dart for the Scattaboo stack. And Jadarian Price. So taking both Notre Dame running backs. Not bad. And then Denzel Boston at 101. Tremaine Edmonds, oh, okay, yeah, he was injured last year quite a bit, if I'm not mistaken. Boy, the team with Mahomes pulls up Kelsey quite a bit. The Cobra getting their guy. Kelsey is still like a 12th, 13th round pick sometimes, so a bit early on Kelsey, but I don't hate it. I draft Kelsey a lot. This is where I think he should be going, in all honesty. I don't hate it, but you can definitely get him a bit later. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate the 12 holes name? I mean, I can't give it anything higher than a 6 because I assume name must have been taken, you know, because this is, it's plural and he only has 1. So on one level, I love it. On another level, I think it's very misleading. Or maybe his name is Name S. Perhaps that is what's going on. Cobra says auto pick. I'm not used to the 20-second clock. Yeah. I had a feeling in the back of my mind that that might be the case. But yeah, that's why you don't want to queue up players too early. That 20-second clock will get you sometimes. But it's not a bad click at all. At least it's correlated. And I do think this is where he went last year. And I think he's going to pay off at that price again. I don't think he's going to retire. The only reason he's going late is because of the risk of retirement, and I believe he's going to work out. So I don't hate it, but obviously it wasn't intentional. B. Davey on the clock right before me. Goes Kittle. So yeah, tight end is being pushed again. Fuck, I might get really screwed at tight end in the future. But we're going to trust Emmett Johnson here. I think he's better than Jonah Coleman. At least I've been convinced by Huhames it is by far the better click. And I do agree with him. So I'll take Emmett Johnson. He might be a quick riser. I'm surprised Huhames did not grab him. Huhames went Tyler Shuck instead. And then maybe I just go Chris Godwin for a falling value. Not a huge fall, but 8 picks. Don't hate it. Yeah, let's just go Godwin. Especially if Evans leaves, Godwin's a good option. In general, I'm usually trying to just take Jalen McMillan, but I have way too much McMillan at this point. Let's mix in Godwin at a slight discount. So right now we're rocking with the, what is it, 254 build? 245. 0. We have no tight ends yet, but if there's one position I'm comfortable waiting on a little while, it's definitely tight end. And then our quarterback room is pretty awesome. We got Jalen Hurts with a double stack. Currently, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And then we have Caleb Williams stacked up with DJ Moore. But maybe I wish I had Luther Burden instead of R.J. Harvey. But running back room is pretty solid. Bijan Robinson, R.J. Harvey, Tyler Algier, Emmett Johnson. Definitely some big swings, but I think they can absolutely work out with Algier and Emmett Johnson, given the landing spot. And then who knows, maybe J.K. Dobbins does not return to Denver, and R.J. Harvey is not competing with someone like that. Maybe he's like ahead of who's a free agent running back that maybe could find his way there. What if? Okay, here's a hypothetical scenario. What if the Saints draft Jeremiah Love and cut Alvin Kamara, and Alvin Kamara lands with the Denver Broncos? Not saying it's going to happen, but what if? Would you be more excited about RJ Harvey or less excited? I might be less excited with that, actually, because Kamara is an elite pass catcher. Harvey kind of needs that as a big part of his game. But I do think his role on the goal line would be so secure, it'd probably pay off. I think he'd be fine. Some other later round free agents. What if they bring in Brian Robinson? That'd be pretty dope. I feel better about RJ Harvey, but for the most part, almost every single free agent running back I think can really crater RJ Harvey's value. So in general, I am fading him. And I agree with this Huhames. I'd probably be pretty excited to be fading him in that scenario. But the bright spot about assuming that Dobbins is going to go there, you just know Dobbins is going to get hurt. You know, that's where, like, I could still see Harvey have the same role down the stretch like he did last year with all of the touchdown production, because Dobbins just might not be there. So even if he's with the team, he just might not be on the field, is what I'm trying to say. But Huhames does not let me get Juwan Johnson. I'm also not going to get Kelsey in this team, so shit. Fuck, a lot of my late round tight end options are coming off the board. Damn it, Cobra. Why'd you have to hit the fucking Q? I would have 100% taken Kelsey here with like some confidence in my tight end room, and it's just not available anymore. Shit. But I'll definitely take one of Dobbs or Shaheed. Shaheed goes, so it's definitely Dobbs. as our 6th receiver. I could keep pushing it, but fuck. Maybe I don't. We're not drafting quarterback, that's for sure. I'm gonna let the timer expire on Dobbs. Give myself the full clock. Not gonna draft another receiver. I don't need 7 at this point. So it's between running back and not in love with the options. Fuck. Am I really gonna go Mark Andrews? I think so. Damn it. I don't like this. Where could I have grabbed a tight end and felt happy about it? Tyler Warren went super early. So did Colston Loveland. Bowers and McBride were gone by the turn, as always. I did pass on Harold Fannin. Should I have gone Harold Fannin instead of Caleb? Is that where I fucked up? Laporta didn't make it back. Kyle Pitts didn't make it back. I didn't want to reach on Gadsden. My typical plan of having Kelsey available in this range is just not the case. Yeah, I think I was just kind of forced into it there to take Andrews. Should have just pushed it and went 4. Maybe that was the right call. Best ball on call agrees. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I think I made the right choices. I think I wanted Kittle there. Kind of assumed that somebody would be available. I wasn't going to reach on Strange. He's fine, but without the stack, it wasn't my preferred option. I thought maybe we could get Juwan Johnson, honestly, but Huhaim's too sharp to let that happen. He got his shuck double stack. Yeah. Bryson says less on Harvey, still thinks Kamara's better. Yeah. Right, this makes sense. You are so invested in Emmett Johnson. Appreciate you letting him fall to me. Appreciate it. But, right, this is in regards to the Kelsey situation we talked about earlier. Not the worst star method to end up happening. Definitely not the worst. But in all honesty, like, unless I was pulling up Rashad White, I don't think there was a click I really loved there at 145. Like, Josh Downs is okay. He's interesting, but I already have 6 receivers. Not sure if it was completely necessary. I'm definitely not clicking Travis Hunter. Not going to click Jerry Jeudy unless he falls. So... Oh, did I... Oh, no, we're still good. I thought I fucked up with the chat. I assume you're... I would assume it's Omar Cooper Jr. He already went. One of the tight ends, I'm guessing. I mean, at this point, I'm pretty much, like, just accepting the fact that I'm not getting a good value on tight end. Like, until y'all just, like, stop drafting the position, it's probably not going to fall in my lap. I'm going to have to reach on someone for sure. But this is not the... I mean... Maybe I shouldn't have scrolled down. You probably saw who I wanted. I mean, Booty at this price just continues to free fall sometimes. There he goes. I like the Pat Bryant selection. Running back. I think my running back room is good enough where I don't have to do it. Damn, Pat Bryant falling a full round. What's the quarterback situation? I'm not... Maybe I could take Penix, but I'm just going to grab Isaiah Likely first. That way I either lock in the Ravens tight end or hopefully he goes somewhere else and I just have 2 starters. Yeah, give me Pat Bryant. Let's do it. Let's do it. That was my 7th receiver. So the receiver room is pretty strong. I like the receiver room quite a bit. Here's the full team so far. We have Jalen Hurts double stacked with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Sadly, we did not get Dallas Goedert to circle back. But he's also a free agent, so who knows? Might not have even worked out for a stack. Caleb Williams stacked up with DJ Moore, at least for the moment. And then running back right now is Bijan, RJ Harvey, Tyler Algier, Emmett Johnson. With Bijan as our hero, it's definitely not a position where I need to panic about depth. Definitely not like last time, that's for sure. We don't need, what did we take last time? 8 running backs on the last one? That's not going to happen tonight. Not on this team. But Bijan, Harvey's the only one that scares me a little bit. Otherwise, I think Algier is a very, very justified click. Emmett Johnson, I think, is also a good click. And then our receiver room is pretty legit with George Pickens, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, DJ Moore, a slight discount on Chris Godwin. He fell 8 picks. We got Romeo Doubs to fall 6 picks. And then we got Pat Bryant, who I think is already a major value, to fall a full round. I'm a little bit surprised that some of these teams in this lobby did let Pat Bryant fall back to me at the turn. Which team has Bo Nix? Parlay Fantasy. They took Theo Johnson unstacked instead of Pat Bryant. Interesting. I mean, they do have a good receiver room already. They have their 5th is Michael Wilson. They have Sutton for the Bo Nix combo. And then they do have Ayuk as the 6th. Yeah, and then receiver was also just like good value, but that team B. Davey took Franklin over Pat Bryant. That's a bit of a shocker. A little bit of a shocker. But Huhaim saying just take Zach Ertz in round 18. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'd rather take Ben Sinnott than Zach Ertz. Ertz does not feel like an amazing click, honestly. But Keaton Mitchell goes 183. That's interesting. That's notable. If you watch the channel, you probably know who I want. But we'll see what happens. I'm not going to say it. Leave a little bit of anticipation. But Schultz goes to big game. Damn. Fuck. I wish I had Schultz on this team. That's a good click. That's not a bad click at all. Honestly, I kind of wish I had taken Lamar Jackson instead of RJ Harvey, and then instead of Caleb, I would have like Jalen Warren or someone. It glitched. Oh, there we go. Brian Robinson off the board. Brian Robinson definitely a click I like in this range, but I have a shit ton of him already. Njoku's falling. Oh, are y'all good? Oh, of course not. These two teams already have one tight end. They have McBride and Kittle. I'm not getting Njoku. There he goes. Colby Parkinson goes. Gunnar Helm's not a bad click at all. Nice and blunt. Surratt has fallen. But I'm going to take Tank Bigsby. He's my boy. I have a heavy Eagles commitment, so just give me Tank Bigsby. If I take Surratt here, he's my last. He's my last click at the position. And that doesn't feel too bad to just be done. I don't have a rookie receiver yet. And I kind of like the room I have. We got some veterans. Andrews and Likely. Okay, let's take Surratt. Pick 193. That's a good value there. 15 picks past ADP. I think him and Omar Cooper should probably be going in the same round. Omar Cooper went round 15. And we get Surratt in the 17th. So we got 3 picks left. I'll consider a quarterback. But I think the combination I have with Hurts and Caleb, I'm going to be fine if I ignore it. And then I'll take another tight end for sure. And then with our final pick, maybe I just draft the 4th tight end, possibly. That's possibly where I'm going to go. But at the next turn, I would assume I'll just grab running back and tight end. That's probably where I'm going to go. Najee goes. Najee's been moving up the board a little bit lately. Goes to Huhames, definitely someone that likes him. Seems like it's working okay, but at least in that moment, it was taking a sweet-ass time. Okay, let me know what you think of the team in the chat so far. Excuse me. We got Jalen Hurts, Caleb Williams. We have a 2-5-8-2 build. Running backs, Bijan Robinson, RJ Harvey, Tyler Algier, Emmett Johnson, Tank Bigsby. Wide receivers, George Pickens, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, Romeo Doubs, Pat Bryant, and Elijah Surratt. I like the receiver room quite a bit. I think that's pretty nice. We got some good values on some nice later round targets as well. If Godwin can bounce back, Godwin could also be the steal of the draft potentially. Godwin has top 10 upside. I wouldn't lock it in. He's not the same athlete after all his injuries recently, but definitely has the potential to make people regret fading him. And at least if Evans leaves, he will be moving up, just like Jalen McMillan. For the price, I'd rather have Jalen McMillan than Chris Godwin, but I have a shit ton of Jalen McMillan already, and it's good to mix it in, especially at a value. That Godwin click, I think, was a pretty good one. But what's going to happen at tight end around the turn here? Big game does take Aaron Rodgers, so he's my most drafted quarterback. Would have considered it, but I don't think I would have done it. But that's all right. Rashard Smith, interesting. Is that the team with Mahomes? I don't think so. No, that's the Cobra. Yeah. The only time I take Rashard Smith is when I have Mahomes, and it's like literally the last 2 rounds. I don't reach on Rashard Smith. Was that a reach, or am I just mistaken? His ADP is 214. Yeah, 5 picks. Who cares? Who cares? Running back, quarterback, and tight end are the only considerations for me. But looks like we'll get a solid running back here, assuming I don't get sniped. But 100% would like Ray Davis. I'd be pretty happy with Ray Davis, honestly. B. Davey goes Caleb Johnson. Love that. And then we do get Pat Freiermuth. Let's go. Let's go. My favorite click this late at tight end. Such a steal. He's free. And I don't think they bring back Jonnu. He's the one with spike week potential in the first place. He's way more talented than Darnell Washington. It's a little bit crowded, but there's also a lack of true pass catcher depth on that team. And I do think Freiermuth is a very, very underrated click this late. Very safe at the position. Like, because at least in terms of, like, he's tight end 33 off the board. There's no way he doesn't do better than that. There's no way he's not better than tight end 33. But we need spike weeks. That's really what we need. And Freiermuth is capable of at least a few spike weeks. Not a ton, but a reminder on Freiermuth. He just turned 27 in October, still pretty young. In his career, he has 2 seasons with 7 touchdowns, including his rookie year. And despite last season being one of his lowest target totals of his entire career, Arthur Smith is gone. Arthur Smith is not going to have this fixation with Jonnu Smith again, and I think we will get a bounce back year out of Pat Freiermuth. I think from a ADP value, he's a good click where he's going. Can absolutely be justified a little bit higher, but there are some like terrible stat lines with him, like a bagel against the Vikings, 1 for 11 against the Browns, but against Cincinnati, the best matchup all year last season, he gets 2 divisional matchups against them. That's a matchup you want. 6 targets, 5 catches, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That can win you Best Ball Mania. That's the type of performance we're looking for. But obviously that's also paired with some really bad ones as well. 3 for 13 That's terrible. 1 for 19. That sucks. Another bagel against Buffalo. 2 for 9 at Baltimore. Yikes. But then down the stretch, last 4 games, no touchdowns, but these are pretty solid numbers. An average of like almost 5 targets per game, a little over 3 catches per game, and then 3 weeks with at least 45 yards. That'll give you some points every now and then. I mean, 6 points isn't amazing, but I am not in a position where my tight end room is good, so we're all set. I think I need a 4th, though. I think I need a 4th tight end. Nice and blunt. Are there any quarterbacks that pique my interest? I don't think I'm going to swing with Mac Jones. I don't think it's worth it. He could get traded, but I'm not 100% convinced. And then also, like, who's he going to be stacked up with on my team? I don't see anyone. We're hyper committed to the Eagles. Let's just go. Oh, you know who this is actually an interesting pick, especially when you have Hurts. Because if AJ Brown does leave, like, are they going to draft someone? Is he even under contract? Let me verify that, actually. 1 pick away. Oh, he's a free agent right now. Actually, maybe not. Nah, I'm going to cool it on that. He'd probably go somewhere else. Maybe not, but I think I'm going to cool it with that. Could go Mike Gesicki. Could also go Michael Trigg. Could go Cole Kmet. He had 63 points last year, 2 touchdowns. Nah, I don't think so. I think I'm going to go Michael Trigg. Let's take the rookies. Yeah. Don't go 4 tight ends too often, and maybe instead of Andrews, I should have taken someone else. But in terms of the names I passed on with Andrews there, I don't hate it. It's fine, especially if Likely does leave. Nice and blunt. But I almost never take Andrews. So this is just for the sake of exposure, essentially. But the board just wasn't generous. Was really hoping Goddard would circle back, but he doesn't. If I had Goddard instead of Andrews, I would love this team. But the tight end room is a big gamble. But Andrews Likely feels not terrible. And then Freiermuth feels like a very solid click. And then Michael Trigg hopefully pays off. But in case you don't know, let me refresh my memory as well. I've already forgotten exactly the stat line on Trigg. Sometimes I get confused. Played for USC, Ole Miss, and Baylor. 5 years in college, so at least at tight end, that's not that bad. But last year, pretty good stats. 11 games, 50 catches, 694 yards, and 6 touchdowns. So took a while to come alive, but 5th-year senior at tight end, that's a position I'm not going to worry about. If it's a 5th-year senior at running back, like Woody Marks, that's a bit more concerning. But at tight end, if anything, he's going to have more of a dual skill set in regards to both blocking and catching the ball. So if anything, tight end is a position that takes a lot of time to develop, and I'm not afraid to take one that's a little bit older. How old is he? Oh, it doesn't say here, but 5th year, he's probably like 23 if I had to guess, maybe even 24. But just from a game log perspective, I mean, first game of the year, 7 for 99 and a touchdown. Against Arizona State, also at home, 5 for 71 and 2 touchdowns. Next game at Oklahoma State, 3 for 62 and a touchdown. Against Kansas State, 8 for 155. That's pretty good. I mean, these are college stats, but still, some high spike week potential that he did showcase last year in college. So we'll see where he lands, but some high upside. Bryson likes the Trigg pick. For the sake of my team, I think that was the right way to go. I think the final tight end with only 2 quarterbacks, given the investment, I think is the correct move. Like, if one of these quarterbacks just fails me, it's because of injury, and to invest in them so highly, like, I'm making the bet that they're just going to stay healthy. So here's the full roster: a 2-6-8-4, very rare for me. Do not see myself draft 4 tight ends very often, but I think how the draft shaked out, just necessary. We go Jalen Hurts, Caleb Williams at QB, running back with the First overall pick. Can't hate on a team with Bijan. That's going to be good. RJ Harvey. Hoping for the best, but not my favorite click in all honesty. Was hoping for Javonte. Didn't get him. Tyler Algier. Emmett Johnson. Feels like some good depth. Hoping for good landing spots, though. Could be terrible clicks as well if it's not the right spot. And then Tank Bigsby, another Eagles investment. Love him where he goes. And then Ray Davis, also an elite handcuff in terms of potential. If James Cook ever misses time, Ray Davis, would be a top 12 running back instantly. Instantly, Ray Davis would get 20 touches anytime that James Cook doesn't play. So good value on him as well. Falls a full round super late. I think he's a good handcuff, just like Bigsby. Starter, average RB2 that could be really bad, but has some touchdown potential. And then a potential starter with Algier, but a pretty safe backup historically. Emmett Johnson, potentially another starter, but one of the more talented running backs in this year's class. And then 2 elite upside handcuffs in Tank Bigsby and Ray Davis. Love the running back room, other than the RJ Harvey click. I think if I could change one thing, I would have rather had Lamar Jackson instead of RJ Harvey and just taken Jalen Warren instead of Caleb Williams. Nothing else I would have changed. That is the only thing I wish was different, because then we'd have Lamar stacked up with Andrews and potentially Likely. That would be pretty dope. And I also don't have much Lamar in the first place. So I've been trying to let Lamar fall to me, but at the turn there, I think I should have just taken him instead of RJ Harvey. I think that was the big mistake that I made on this one. But back to the full Avi, our receiver room is pretty dope. Pickens, AJ Brown. I think I might have 2 top 10 receivers. At least they're being drafted that way. Potentially 2 top 6 receivers. I could see both Pickens and AJ Brown finish in the top 8 at the position. Devontae Smith, so that Eagles stack is guaranteed with Jalen Hurts. DJ Moore hopefully stays in Chicago, but could get traded and might get a really good landing spot. Like if you told me DJ Moore gets traded to the Raiders, that would be interesting. If he got traded to the Titans, that would be interesting as well. Maybe he could get traded to, the Bills is obviously an interesting, compelling option, but that's kind of hard to assume will actually happen. Godwin at a minor discount. Definitely some upside if he can bounce back health-wise. And then Romeo Doubs at a good price. I think he might be moving up when he signs. Would love to see him in Pittsburgh or Buffalo. Anyone that goes to Buffalo is going to be moving up the board fast. Pat Bryant, I think the steal of the Broncos pass catchers. I'd much rather draft Pat Bryant than Cortland Sutton. And we got Pat Bryant after Troy Franklin. I'd rather have Pat Bryant over Troy Franklin as well. And then Elijah Surratt, we got 15 picks past ADP. Finally a rookie on this team. And good value at least. But probably going to be deserving to swap an ADP with Omar Cooper Jr. in the first place. But tight end is a little bit bleak. At least we attacked it with volume. We got Andrews, Likely. Hopefully Likely does move on. And we're in great shape with both as starters. But ideally, Isaiah Likely is going to the Commanders, or who else needs a tight end? You never know, but Likely could go to the Commanders, and that'd be pretty awesome. What's a good cap space team?
Nice and blunt.
The Bengals would be interesting. That'd be an interesting spot. They have some cap space. Otherwise, the Broncos would be pretty interesting. Maybe he and Cade Otton swap places. Maybe he goes to the Buccaneers. That would be kind of interesting. He could also just return to the Ravens and break out like I thought he would last year. I clicked Isaiah Likely so much last year, and if he didn't get hurt, he would be going way, way higher. He should probably go above Mark Andrews. Now that I see them both on the same roster, I'm like, I kind of wish I had Likely just straight up over Andrews. But we get both. Totally fine. I'm happy with it. And then Freiermuth and the swing on Trigg feels solid. I'm comfortable with how it turned out. And obviously quarterback is a little thin, but we invested so early it makes sense. I think the team is balanced, comfortable. I like it. I think it's definitely safer than the last team we drafted, but probably not as unique as the last team I drafted. I want unique teams. This one's a little unique, but I could definitely see this replicated somewhere else. I could definitely see other teams in the contest have a very similar combo in their starting lineup. Anyways, we had some comments. Looked like Who Hames likes Trig. Trig needs to kill Combine though. Hoping for the best. Did the tight ends run today or is it tomorrow? I already forgot what the schedule is, but it's mostly during the weekend. I know the tight ends are first. Did they run today? I don't think so. I think they run tomorrow. Jamie's back in the chat. Bryson absolutely hates Arthur Smith going to my Buckeyes next year. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But Jamie feels the other way. Jamie thinks he's okay. I thought Arthur Smith would probably just stay in the NFL, but he's overrated for sure. Probably, man. Probably. Jamie would like me to shit talk about the team I just drafted. You got it, buddy. You got it, bro. Jamie gets priority, 100%. So Jamie was in here at the 9 position, goes with the 4-6-7-3, has Trevor Lawrence at ADP, Stroud at ADP, Rodgers at ADP, and Anthony Richardson in the final round, also at ADP. Christian McCaffrey, 2 picks behind ADP. Kyron Williams right at ADP. So is Dave Montgomery. Montgomery feels like a good safe click, honestly. I don't think he's going to get cut. I think it's too punitive for their cap. I think he's staying in Detroit, and that definitely will pay off. You did reach on Trey Benson a little bit, but could definitely pay off if Connor leaves or just gets hurt again. But I'm kind of convinced that Trey Benson is just trash. That draft class fucking sucks. That running back draft class is terrible. Like, I just want to make sure I get the year right, but like all the running backs that got drafted that year fucking suck so far. Unless I'm like just overwhelmingly forgetting about someone. But what year was it? 2024 NFL draft. Can we sort by position on this? I don't think so. Okay. Let me Google it. 2024 NFL running back draft class. Because I feel like nobody fucking popped. Oh no, I think it was... Positions. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Yeah, ESPN has the most like easy to break. Are they not? Oh, it's... I can't go back to 20... Oh, that sucks. Scratch that. Never mind on ESPN. Damn it. Is there just a list of... Jonathan Brooks, Trey Benson, Blake Corum. I guess Corum is starting to pay off, but he was so bad as a rookie. Jalen Wright, not that amazing. Bucky Irving. Okay, never mind. Only Bucky Irving, really. But Estime, fucking terrible. Bucky Irving and Blake Corum are the only ones that have kind of panned out so far. But I honestly think Trey Benson might just suck. So yeah, don't like that click that much. Dylan Sampson, I hate. I don't really want either Browns running back in all honesty. But I suppose if Quinshon does go down, then we'll see. Has handcuff appeal, nothing else. I'd rather go Tank Bigsby than Dylan Sampson. And then Nick Singleton, we'll see what happens. I can't say I know enough about him. I'm waiting for the combine to really like pin down whether or not I think someone like him going that late is worth it. But you do get him slightly past ADP, but that late it doesn't matter. The running back room a little bit risky, but fine at the top, terrible at the bottom. Don't like Benson, don't like Sampson, don't like Singleton, but can definitely work. You don't need them to contribute all the time. Wide receiver room with London, Adams, Rome Odunze, Brian Thomas. That's pretty dope. Jaden Reed as the 5th feels pretty solid. And then Josh Downs, a really good click. Definitely should be moving up the board, assuming Pittman gets cut. I think they can save like, what is it, 15 million if they cut Michael Pittman? Might be even more than that. If they cut Michael Pittman, they save 24 mil. He's not coming back. So Josh Downs is an excellent click. Kind of mid, kind of a floor play, but as your wide receiver 6, if he's going to be 4 rounds more expensive in 2 months, then by all means, take him. I like to take him as well. I love the pick. Cooper Kupp as the 7th, though, feels a little bit risky. So I don't think you needed the 4th quarterback, bud. But Kyle Pitts, AJ Barner, Dalton Schultz, pretty balanced, pretty solid, man. I think it's a good team. I just think instead of Rodgers or Richardson, probably instead of Richardson, I would have taken a swing on a rookie receiver. That's what I would have done. But Richardson can absolutely pay off. Rodgers might just retire, so I might get totally fucked with my investment in Rodgers. But I think it was a good team, man. I actually think you made it out pretty well, given how it went. Good running backs at the top. Your 4th receiver is fire with Brian Thomas, stacked up with Lawrence. The Pitts click, I was hoping would kind of make it back to me, but other than Trey Benson, CJ Stroud, Dylan Sampson, and Nick Singleton, I've clicked every other player you've chosen. Only four names for me to nitpick. I think it's a really good team, man. I think you did well. Is there anyone else who would like a review? Who Hames would like a review? Let's focus on Who Hames, who is at the 5 slot. Who Hames, how'd your team shake out? 3-6-8-3, so the most balanced approach possible. You have Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, Geno Smith. Wow. Good luck, bud. Fucking hate that. But I guess it's late enough to justify. Fucking hate that. I like the other 2, but I hate Geno Smith. Let's see what happened, though. Jeremiah Love, Cam Scatterbo, Jadarian Price, Rashad White, Brian Robinson, Najee Harris. Good running back room. Very nice. Just hoping for good landing spots with the Notre Dame running backs. And as long as Scatterbo's healthy, then you're in business. Wide receiver, JSN, Chris Olave, Jalen Waddle. So great at the top. DK as the 4th. That's nice. Very nice. With Denzel Boston, good click. Jalen McMillan, excellent click. Omar Cooper Jr., fantastic click. And then Jeremy Bernard, one of my favorite rookies to stash as well. This is who I think Jamie should have taken in the final round instead of Anthony Richardson. But then at tight end, you got Strange, Juwan Johnson. You sniped me on Juwan. Sadly, but totally justified with Shuck. 100% justified. And then Eli Stowers for the rookie swing. I'm not in love with Strange as much as other people. You did reach on him almost a full round. So a little bit steep, but knowing that Kelsey was already off the board and tight end was going to get weird. To have that combo, definitely better than my room, so I don't hate it. You do not have Lawrence, so it's just a random unstacked Brenton Strange. 10 picks above ADP. I'll be honest with you, I don't love the Strange click, but it's fine. I might have grabbed a running back there instead, and then instead of like Najee, we get like Gunnar Helm. That would have been cool. But Strange is definitely more valuable than Helm, probably, so it's fine. Just hate the Geno click. The Geno click makes no sense. Sure, pal. If that's what you want to tell yourself. Happy to be in a lobby with someone drafting Geno. But you definitely need a 3rd, and what the board look like at that point? Rodgers was off, and I think, were you planning for Rodgers? You had Metcalf. Yeah, you were probably planning for Rodgers if I had to guess. Geno gonna start the season? Why? What? You think he's getting traded? Mendoza's gonna start the, like, unless they trade the number 1 overall pick. But yeah, okay, I feel you. Yeah. Big game. Jamie not letting you have it. Bummer. But at least it's unique. What's his situation? You think they're gonna cut him? I mean, I don't know, man. They only save 8 mil, but they have 18 and a half in dead money if they cut him. Meanwhile, they cut him next year, it's all off the cap. I believe ETR and leg up both added Geno to draftable range. I suppose the thing about quarterback in the ADP this year. Oh, okay. I don't think it changes, man. Pre-June 1st, it's this. Cut, it stays the same. He has to get traded. You think he's getting traded? I suppose. Yeah, if he gets traded, then I guess you made a viable decision. But I don't think he's getting cut. He'll get cut next year for sure. But I don't know, man. I'm not gonna endorse that. Maybe after June 1st, but not today. What about, yeah, if they trade him, it's the same.
Nice and blunt.
They could restructure his contract and save 12.6, though. I'm not going to extend him, though. For sure not extending him. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Good luck, bud. Good luck with that. I think I would rather take Anthony Richardson than Geno. I'd rather have Kirk Cousins than Geno. Cousins definitely getting cut. But I firmly disagree with this stance. At the moment, I do not believe he is draftable. Not in my opinion. If teams want Tyson Bagent, Geno is a world beater. I don't think, is Bagent a free agent? Secret Bagent, man. No, he's not a free agent. Ben Johnson has like raved about Tyson Bagent. Ben Johnson really, really respects Tyson Bagent. He has said glowing reviews of Tyson Bagent. I don't think he wants to let go of Tyson Bagent. So, we'll see about that, man. No, but teams have supposedly called about Bagent. They can call. Maybe something will happen, but I don't think they're going to let him go. If I had to guess, I don't think so. But Bryson doing another big board. What time is it? Almost 7?
Nice and blunt.
Fuck it. Let's go. But I don't have time to do any team reviews after that. Does anyone want a team review on this one? Huhaim's team is pretty solid. If it had Rodgers, it would be great. I would like the team a lot more if it had Rodgers. Wide receiver room is good. Tight end room is good. Running back room is good. Just a little bit risky with Scadaboot and the rookies. But quarterback a little bit thin. No worries, Jamie. Appreciate you. Appreciate the music. Head over to Jamie's channel if you want to give him a follow. We'll be hopping on a live stream with him soon. I believe on Monday. At least what I'm trying to do. Head over to IDP Center. Give Jamie a follow. Bryson does not like his team. No review needed. No worries, man. Yeah, the team with Rodgers would look much superior, but sadly it just doesn't work out sometimes. No shame in that. Worth trying. Otherwise, everything is good. Like, it's really just one click in the second to last round. Like, who am I to shit on it that much? But it is funny. It is funny. Anyways, thank you, Huhaims, for the music. Hope everyone enjoys. And I guess we'll pivot back to the first song we dropped earlier on. Mix it up a little bit. Here we go. Mixing up the song. Looks like nobody else would like a team review. So in that case, we will move on. I don't know if we were drafting. Oh, we were drafting with Cobra, but Cobra's not speaking up. So we'll leave Cobra's team alone, and we'll do a big board. This is definitely the last one of the stream. So I'll give you a little countdown. We'll draft in the next 30 seconds for sure. I'm just pulling it up on my phone, making sure we Get in at the right time. It is 7 p.m., so by 7:45, I'd like to be done. I definitely don't want to stick around past 8 too long. I've got the big board queued up on my phone. We are ready if you would like to join in. It is the $10 big board. There's a 5-second delay, so hit that button in 3, 2, 1 right now, and I will join in 3, 2, 1. We should be synced up. Oh, I was the last person in, so literally last person to join. If you would like to get in here with me, it is too late. At least I don't have to wait very long. That's nice. What pick do I have? Pick 7. All right, we had pick 10. We had pick 1. And yo, I don't know if he's live streaming. Maybe he is, but hoodied in here, Jerry Football. We're going to be making an appearance on Jerry's channel tomorrow. And maybe he is drafting at the moment. Let me find out. I have a feeling he's probably live streaming. All right, we got Mus OMG at the 101, the long slong. The long's long. That's definitely better. Bloop Bloop 22, SJS, ya boy Frank at the 5, Bo Knows Jackson at 6. I'm in at the 7. Feel Good Inc. We got the Gorillas in here at pick 8. Bean E Baby at the 109, Bryson Anderson at the 10, Hoodied Jerry Football in at the 11, Sharp Drafter. We'll be joining him on his channel tomorrow. And then Newitz at the 12. Is Jerry live streaming? Gotta find out. Phone is taking forever. Oh, my Wi-Fi's not on, that's why. Yes, Jerry is indeed live streaming. All right. I'm just gonna let him know in his chat. Sorry for the dead air. He is live. Okay. I'm gonna get weird with this one. Some of y'all might hate this, but I'm taking Hampton in round 1. Don't give a shit if you don't like it. Don't give a fuck, honestly. If anything, let's put it on. Hell yeah. Let's go. Bolt up, baby. Let's go. Hampton at the 107. Fuck yeah. Vámonos. Yes. Let me try and get the link for y'all so we can give Jerry a shout out. Especially, I'm gonna be there tomorrow if y'all want to catch that. Whoa, whoops. All right, here we go. Perfect. Love it. This is what I wanted. This is what I fucking wanted. Hell yeah. I mean, obviously you can do this at the 12 slot, but not that many people pull up neighbors that high. 2 second-round picks that I think can both crush as first-round values. Give me Hampton and neighbors, just to be a little bit different. But let me share his channel. And if y'all want to join his stream tomorrow, that'd be awesome. New to the streaming game, only started this year, and very chill guy. Also a cat dad, want to help him out, and super chill guy. Has a good vibe, has some good takes, and has won some contests, has made some good profit in the past. So very legit opinion, sharp drafter, and perhaps a team to watch out for a little bit. But we get unique today. We go Hampton. Malik Neighbors. Love Hampton this year, man. Hampton's gonna be my ride or die. He is. Let's fucking go. Also, Malik Neighbors could put up legitimately 180 targets this season. Literally 10 targets per game feels like minimum for Neighbors. Just needs to stay healthy. Might not come back after... Might be ready week 1. He only got hurt in week 4. It wasn't like a great injury, but let's do it. Let's do it. AJ Brown goes, that would have been nice, but we can still get Walker potentially. Brees is also a candidate. Don't think I'm gonna go Ladidi though. Not gonna pull up. Damn, I wanted Walker more than Brees. Fuck. In that case, let's just go Josh Allen. Let's take the QB1. Let's do that. Let's go balanced. Sorry. Once I put this sweater on, I got hot as balls. Okay. Not a good temperature to be wearing a sweater. If anything, I'm taking this shit off. You know what? Nah. Gotta commit to the bit. Gotta keep it on. Gotta commit to the bit. Can't take it off just because I'm hot. I turned on the air conditioner for a reason. Let's go. We're gonna go rainbow. Let's do it. Full rainbow. Definitely a unique start. Definitely unique. Is it gonna work? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Have I done this before? Nope. But I've been wanting to try something. And here it is. But you plan on going to any Charger games this year? Seems like they need fans in the stands. They have done a lot better as the season progressed. Like the Texans game was legitimately like 80-85% Charger fans, and that was their last home game of the season. That shit was very interesting, but seems like some people might have hated this start. The viewers went down. I don't give a shit, man. I don't give a fuck if that's the reason why. But yeah, I'm definitely going to some Charger games. They got some good games on the slate as well. My uncle's a Patriots fan, so I know I'm going to be at that game 100%. I'm going to try to go to a game with Angus again. My best friend has stopped by on the channel as well in the past for some podcast episodes. We're going to go to a game. We went to the Commanders game last year. Hopefully I can see them win for once. Jesus, last year they let me down with 3 losses. The 3 times I was there. I saw them lose to the Commanders with Angus. I saw them lose to the Colts with my uncle. I saw them lose to the Texans with my sister. So, need to see them win next year. And they got some good games on the slate, so I'm definitely going. I'm going to try to go to a Broncos game. I think they can beat the Broncos. And that should be a fun game. We could take Harvey again, but not dying to do it. Nah, just going to bet on Hampton. Let's go Christian Watson. Let's do it. Okay. Do I think Hampton is a better click than Amon-Ra St. Brown? In general, no. But I have a lot of Amon-Ra already, and I genuinely think that Neighbors, his high range of outcomes is potentially the wide receiver 1. Like, when Neighbors was a rookie, he had such elite production. And his quarterback situation was gross. As a rookie, he had 170 targets in 15 games. That's on pace for like 190. Like 195. If he gives you 200 targets next year because he plays all 17 games, you might regret fading Malik Neighbors. Genuinely might regret it. So let's take him. Get a little unique with it. I obviously am not listening to Jiri's takes, but I'm really curious what he has to say to be in this lobby with me when I go with Hampton Neighbors to start. Should be interesting how this thing shakes out. But we will see. We will find out. I am on the clock. Yeah, give me Harrison. Let's go. Josh Allen, Colston Loveland. Elite at those positions. Hampton, I think, is capable of being that hero running back that you need. And then just to get the combo with him and Neighbors, that's just not something that people do very often. So it's at least different. And then Christian Watson, we need to get back in at receiver before it dries up. With Harrison, could have a solid bounce back. Definitely could happen. But is this team risky? For sure, a little risky. But I believe in Omarion Hampton. Anyways, Bryson agrees. If Neighbors is healthy, he's a favorite click on the board. His target volume should be insane. And I think even though we shit on Matt Nagy, he has something to prove. I don't think being in the shadow of Andy Reid is something he's super happy about. And he did take Mitchell Trubisky to the playoffs, and if not for the double doink, would have beat Nick Foles' Eagles. Like, Matt Nagy deserves some credit. He's made a lot of bad decisions as well. But it's not like the Bears are a team that can, like, really sustain a coach to, like, just remain viable. We're going to go Parker Washington. Gonna get it done. Could have gone Tucker Kraft there, but didn't feel like I was dying to do that. I really doubt we get Trevor Lawrence to circle back. That team with Brian Thomas probably going to take him, but I want to grab some receivers before it gets terrible. And the next round, I think, is a really, really good spot for running back. So let's hit receiver before it's too late. The next few rounds have some really good running back values. So we have Josh Allen. We can ignore quarterback for a while. Even if we just get stuck with, like, Cam Ward as our number 2, that's perfectly fine. We could also target Malik Willis, who might be going to Arizona. That's interesting. That's definitely possible. But, yeah, they go Jacoby Myers. 100% taking Lawrence. 100%. Huhaim says, I need to start taking a bunch of Neighbors. He feels like a really good click. Like, obviously there's the injury risk and like downside, but the upside is literally wide receiver 1. Literally 200 targets could happen for Neighbors. And if that's the case, then we're going to regret fading him. I don't think all of the running backs in the second round are like much better than Neighbors. And he got hurt in only week 4. That was like still September on the calendar. You're telling me he has 11 months to recover and he can't pay off? Like, even if he misses a month, I heard you saying this earlier today, Huhames, even if he misses 4 games, I don't give a shit. I need points in the... Oh, damn. Quentin Johnston's here? Fuck yeah. I mean, Manungai, a little bit past ADP. I might regret this a lot, but we're wearing Charger gear. Now that I have QJ as the 5th, I can ignore receiver for a long time. This is going to be similar to that first draft we did. This is going to be similar, and you might fucking hate it again. You just have to build like he's a rookie. Yeah, essentially, it's he's taking over that same role. It's I think he'll be fine for when it counts. And like, I don't think he's going to miss much time, if anything. I think if you get him week 1, he's such a smash. Such a fucking smash. Even if you get him in week 5, I think in round 2, he's still fine. Because Wandale might be leaving. We know Darius Slayton doesn't scare us. And Scattaboo is also a big pass catcher, but he's coming off an injury as well. Might not be ready. He got hurt, what was it, like 6 weeks after Neighbors got hurt? So, yeah, I'm 100% talking myself into Neighbors. And at least with this combo, we get unique with it. Hampton, I think, is a smash at the turn. And especially once you hit pick 6, pick 7. If you're not going to take Amon-Ra, you can justify just about anyone. Maybe people are going to disagree with me on Hampton. But I've said this in the past. The Jim Harbaugh running back is going to pay off no matter who it is. No matter if it's Kimani Vidal, Najee Harris, or more specifically, Omarion Hampton. That Jim Harbaugh running back can absolutely score 20-plus touchdowns this year. 100% possible that it can happen. Leave me Price, please. Take Laporta. Come on, Bo. Don't fucking snipe me. The fact that it's glitching makes me panicked. Sweet. Let's get it. Give me a good landing spot with Jadarian Price, and we're in business. Got a good fall on Jadarian Price. 6 picks. Let's go. Needed running back there. So, I mean, this would have been fine. I would have been okay with that as well. But to get Jadarian Price in the upside, I'm also pretty happy with that. All right. So far, this team is pretty interesting. I mean, will it work? We don't know. But Rainbow to start. Very unique Rainbow. Nobody else has this. Nobody else is dumb enough to do this. Only me. I'm the only one fucking stupid enough to do this. But Hampton, Neighbors, Josh Allen, Colston Loveland, elite tight end, elite QB. So the starting roster is going to be fucking awesome. And then our receiver room is deep now with Christian Watson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Parker Washington, Quentin Johnston. Quentin Johnston is my favorite Chargers receiver to click, honestly. And then I got sniped on Jordan Love, unfortunately. I wanted Love. So in that case, we're going to pull up Emmett Johnson, I think. I could go Shakir, but Shakir's pretty lackluster. I'll pass on Shakir. Just give me Emmett Johnson. I'd rather have Emmett Johnson than Jonah Coleman. And watch him skyrocket up the board after the combine. So we're taking a stance. We're trusting Who Hames and other content creators. Emmett Johnson is our boy. And probably not going to come back in the next round. But even if he does, I like a lot of the running backs in round 11. And having 2 of them is not going to make me worried. But Bryson says I cannot click Quentin Johnston over Mahomes in any lifetime. I understand that logic, but from a team build standpoint, you did have Herbert. The stack would have been okay. You did not have Ladd. You have Gadsden. Mahomes might miss substantial time. I doubt he misses more than like a month, but he got hurt pretty late in the season. It's possible that Mahomes takes a while to get healthy. I've been clicking him with confidence, so I'm not saying that that's like the bet to make, but there is the risk that Mahomes is just not healthy for a while. But he can also put up top 3 numbers at the position easily, so I don't think that's a egregious take at all. I think that's fine, but I'm happy to have him as my 5th receiver. He has such high spike week potential. When he plays like shit, he's terrible. He can put up some bad stinkers, but he can also drop 20, 30 points. Not that difficultly. And Jonah Coleman circles back, so fuck it. Actually, no. I'm not going to do that because it kind of like ruins my build. It just negates pulling up Emmett Johnson. So fuck it. We're going to go George Kittle, and we're going to go a little fragile. at tight end. Kittle and Colston Loveland, I can kind of just call it done. That team with Purdy right behind me is probably fucking livid. But so it goes, man. So it goes. Should have taken Kittle in the last round if you wanted him. I'll scoop him up. His upside is just too high, and remember, we need points in the fantasy playoffs. George Kittle can drop 30 points in week 17. You don't want to fully fade George Kittle. He might miss 2 months, but reports are that he's optimistic he'll be ready for week 1. I doubt that's going to be the case, but it's good to hear that he's progressing at least, and he can literally drop 30 points in the fantasy championship. So Kittle is a good best ball selection, not a great floor selection, but don't want to fade him. And he did fall, what was it, 7 picks? ADP 120, we get him at 127. Yeah, I'm fine with that. So tight end is elite. Quarterback is elite, even though we only have 1 so far. Wide receiver is deep and potentially elite. And then running back, we're taking some strong stances, but that's the way to go. Make some bold calls. Don't be scared. Running back, though, gets a little bit... fuck. Maybe I messed up. Maybe I messed up, but... I'll just take Mendoza. And that way, maybe I'm just done. I don't hate that. Josh Allen, Mendoza, call it done. Don't hate it. This is definitely a lobby. I need 7+ running backs, so... maybe with Kittle, we draft like Tonjes in the final round and stop at 7 receivers. Let's see. A 2-8-7-3 doesn't feel terrible, but it's all going to come down to running backs the rest of the way. We got to get the right names, but it's risky. You got to be comfortable with some risk, especially in this tournament where you don't have to finish top 2 to advance. You got to finish 3rd or better to advance. We don't need to finish 1st. We just need the right combination once we get into the dance. We can get our money back with a risky build, but do I think my hero RB is going a little too far? You might need Trey Benson. I mean, maybe. Maybe a little bit. But Shaheed is falling. But the team in front of me only has 4 receivers. I would assume Shaheed is off the board. If not, I'll probably go Tajay. They only have 3 running backs as well. What are they going to do? Shaheed falling here is very tempting. We also have Mendoza. Yeah, I'm going to take Shaheed at the value. If he's a good candidate to go to Las Vegas as well. But I might really regret the last 3 rounds passing on running back. Maybe the Kittle pick was bad. The Kittle pick might have really cost me. But now I'm definitely going to stop at 7 receivers. I know that. But what happens around this turn? What does running back look like on the way back? Bryson also only has 3. He has James Cook, DeAndre Swift, and Jonah Coleman. Jiri, hoodied at 11, has Achane, Javonte Williams, and David Montgomery. Not bad at all. He has Rashad White coming back around. And then that team at 12 only has 3 as well. They passed on running back twice. They have Genty, Kyron, and Dobbins. Yo, Tajay circles back. Love to see it. Fuck yeah. Almost took Tajay in the last round, and we need running back for sure. All right. Let's hope Shaheed is a Raider, and that click was 100% worth it. But, you know I'm going to hammer running back several times. Maybe a Trey Tucker on this team. We'll see what happens. But if anything, I'm definitely stopping at 7 receivers. I think I can afford that. With Neighbors, Christian Watson, Marvin Harrison, Parker Washington, Quentin Johnston, Rashid Shaheed. We'll see what happens. Jamie is hopping off. Got to pass out. I'll have to check out the final team in the morning. No worries, man. Well, hopefully I can land this plane correctly, but it's... we've hit a little turbulence. Let's not pretend like I didn't hit a little turbulence. But thank you again, man. Thank you so much for the audio. Thanks for the music. And smash that like if you're enjoying this music. Give Jamie a follow over at the IDP. This is Jiri's channel, but the IDP Center. This one over here. Not my last comment, but two comments ago. Give Jamie a shout out. But thank you, my man. Appreciate it. And smash the like on your way out. Appreciate everyone for hopping in. But around the turn, Omar Cooper Jr. goes, so that saves me from myself. I'm glad I'm not tempted to take him. You're welcome, bro. Thank you. Katron Allen off the board. This team already has 6 running backs, so not expecting... Oh, they take it... Really? Fuck. That's not good. That's a bummer. I wanted Aaron Jones, but thought that Bo-Nose Jackson might take him. They go Trey Harris. The fuck? They only have 3 running backs. I'll take Charbonnet. Similar to the argument with George Kittle. Yes, there's a lot of risk, but you really telling me that in the championship weeks, Charbonnet can't drop like 25 points and be one of the players you need? Charbonnet's going to be healthy enough at the end of the season to contribute. Not ideal, maybe a bad click, but you know I'm going to attack it with volume, so let's get some points at the end of the season. But I do have 2 rookies. This is a risky team. This is a very risky team. But gotta accept some risk every now and then. Bryson gets Kayshon Boutte 178. That's a really good value on Kayshon. Hoodied goes Braylon Allen. Good luck with a jet, especially if Breece Hall comes back. But missing out on Aaron Jones was a bummer. Missing out on Rashad White was kind of a bummer. Tank Bigsby goes. But he's a handcuff after all. Fuck. Nah. Just give me Trey Tucker. All right. This team requires that I hit on a lot of rookies. All those rookie running back picks need to fucking hit. But stopping at 2 quarterbacks with Mendoza and Allen. Maybe I take Tonjes, but don't feel like I have to with Loveland and Kittle. Our receiver room is done, I think, with Neighbors, Christian Watson, Marvin Harrison, Parker Washington, Quentin Johnston, Shaheed, and Trey Tucker. And then running back is super contingent on Hampton crushing. If he doesn't, I'm fucked. But, like, if you finish 4th, you're also fucked. Like, I don't care about a team that finishes last. It's just as valuable as a team that finishes 6th. Gotta lean in every now and then. But today I definitely got some of the hero running back rooms out of my system. I don't know if I'll be doing it as often, but I still don't hate it. I don't think it's egregiously bad. I just don't know if I'm going to always take elite QB, elite tight end when I do it. Maybe I should have grabbed Breece Hall instead of Josh Allen. Maybe that was the mistake. But Keaton Mitchell off the board, 193. There's 4 rounds left. Bryson says a sea of green is inbound for him. So, yeah, we're not the only team that needs running back. Am I really going to take Joe Mixon? I don't think so. This is not a team I think I can tolerate Joe Mixon. I'm going to take the correlation. Ray Davis with Josh Allen. Could have 100% gone Emmanuel Wilson. The price, I guess, is a little bit more comfortable on Mixon, but I think he might just be done. And given I already took Charbonnet, I'm not going to pair Charbs up with Mixon. Definitely not going to do that. So, risky team. Hoping we get Emmett Johnson and Jadarian Price in a good spot. But I think Tajay could be the savior. 100%. Tajay, I think, could be the guy that really helps me at least advance. If I can advance, I think this team is 100% in business. It's fragile, but especially at the end of the season in the playoffs, it's got some major spike potential. Maybe James Cook goes down. Ray Davis is the pick I thought he was last year. Loved Ray Davis last year. My boy. One of my most drafted players last year.
Nice and blunt.
We have 3 rounds left. Any receivers here I want? Not really. I'd rather go Damon Claiborne, rookie running back with some upside, than take a rookie receiver. Let's do it. But Leia's getting hungry, getting pissed. She's making an appearance. Hello. Hi. I will feed you in just a little bit. We're almost done with this. I promise. Okay. Go. But Bryson took a swing on Caleb Johnson and Joe Mixon. Wow, that's risky as fuck. But you're 5th and 6th, worth the risk there. When you have better guys at the top. So, gotta take a look at what's on the board here. I think I'm totally passing on quarterback. We could go Jake Tonjes just for the safety, but honestly, if I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be in the final round. Tight end is definitely gonna be in the final round. Let's just take our boy at running back. Take someone I want. Might just go with another rookie, honestly. Yeah, this is feeling like a heavy rookie team. And you haven't seen me do this type of thing before where I'm drafting just a shit ton of rookies. Like in general, I kind of cap it at like 3 rookies, and they're usually like good ones. Oh, Tonjes already goes. That's fine. What's going to happen with Bo Nose Jackson? Goes Jacoby Lane. Adam Randall, come on down. My 4th rookie running back. Our 8th of the draft. Definitely a team that needs 8 running backs. Omarion Hampton, Jadarian Price, Emmett Johnson, Tyjae Spears, Zach Charbonnet, Ray Davis, Damon Claiborne, Adam Randall. If 2 of these rookies hit, I'm in business. If one of them hits, I think I'm fine. And I would assume that Emmett and Jadarian are going to be decent. But no risk it, no biscuit. We're not going to go 9 running backs, though. So last pick, either a tight end or a receiver. Maybe Jack Betch is kind of interesting, but Dante Thornton was my boy last year. Cooper Kupp is interesting. Jeremy Bernard is interesting. Hollywood, if he returns to the Chiefs, could be interesting. Keenan goes. I think I'm going to go Jack Betch. Actually, no. Let's go Ted Hurst. Another rookie. Let's go Ted Hurst. Heard a lot of hype on Ted Hurst. Honestly, I don't have a definitive take, but enough people are talking about him. He's 6'3", 185, played for Georgia State. Last year, had 71 catches, 1,004 yards, 6 touchdowns. The year before that, 56 for 961 and 9 touchdowns. Played in the Sun Belt, so not like elite college competition, but still, he's 6'3". That has got to count for something. And then we'll get some more clarity on him soon, but haven't drafted him yet. Sounds like he's going to be a riser post-combine. Only 21 years old. Declaring at a young age is nice. 194 pounds. Could be heavier, but not the end of the world. And arms are decent. 33 inches in the 87th percentile. At receiver, good to have long arms. But Georgia State... in the Sun Belt, maybe not. I wish he played for Georgia, not Georgia State. Let's be honest, but appears to be getting some hype. I've heard his name a few times lately, so let's go Ted Hurst. Let's take a swing. All right, here's the full team: Josh Allen, Fernando Mendoza. Running back, Omarion Hampton, Jadarian Price, Emmett Johnson, Tyjae Spears, Zach Charbonnet. A lot of risk with Charbonnet. But Ray Davis for the Bills correlation, Damon Claiborne, Adam Randall. And then wide receiver, we got Neighbors, Christian Watson, Marvin Harrison, Parker Washington, Quentin Johnston. So love the top 5. Shaheed and Trey Tucker, hoping that both of them are Raiders. At least we know Tucker's a Raider, so that should correlate with Mendoza at the very least. But Shaheed, I think, will also be a Raider. And then Ted Hurst, let's take a swing on a receiver. We can afford it. A 2.882 build. Don't do that too often. And then Colston Loveland needs to pay off, should. And then George Kittle can absolutely blow up. We got him 7 picks past ADP. I said it so many times, I don't want to belabor the point. You know it's risky, but yeah. Is it safe? No. Can it work? Maybe. We have 8 of them because it's so necessary. But with Allen and Loveland, I think it works. I think it can work. Is it a lock to work? Of course not. But it can work when you have the elite quarterback and tight end. And then, like I said, an extremely unique combination with Hampton and Neighbors. Extremely uncommon combo. ADP 15 with Hampton, ADP 16.4 with Neighbors. They usually go back to back. Nobody else is going to have this unless they're as crazy as I am and as dumb as I am. So that's it. I'm good. I'm just going to take a look at Jerry's team because I'm very curious how his team worked out. He goes 4-6-8-2. Jordan Love was his number 1, so I hope he had someone to justify. At least he had Golden, but that was a backstack. I'm kind of pissed he sniped me on Love, honestly. Bryce Young, Michael Penix, Ty Simpson. Not super jealous of his quarterback room. Running back, Achane, Javonte, that's pretty good. Montgomery as the 3rd is nice. Rashad is great as the 4th. Braylon I don't like as the 5th anymore. Used to like him, but he's falling for a reason. And then Najee as the 6th, not bad at all. Wide receiver, Amon-Ra Tet with the stack. Mekhi Lemon, DK Metcalf. Pulled up DK just a little bit, but that's fine. Does he have Rodgers? No, he does not. Golden with a really good, 8 picks. I guess it's not elite, but good stacking combo. And then Jerry Jeudy, Keon Coleman, Malik Washington, not bad at all. Keon and Jerry Jeudy, I don't like, but everything else is good. And then tight end is thin, but Tucker Kraft, Kyle Pitts, totally justified to only have 2. So, yeah, with 2 tight ends, the 4 quarterback makes sense. But Jordan Love at least is stacked with Kraft. I didn't realize he had Kraft. Okay. Very legit team. Much safer than mine. But anytime you have 4 quarterbacks, you're feeling a bit desperate. So that's just the trade-off. He did pass on Mahomes for Kyle Pitts. At least he called it done at tight end. I think it's pretty good. Not bad, that's for sure. All right. We'll probably talk about that tomorrow on his live. Go ahead and check him out. Jiri Football. I will be joining him tomorrow on his channel around 5 p.m. Pacific. If I do go live tomorrow, it's going to be earlier in the day. And yeah, should be fun. Jiri's a chill guy. And we'll have some entertaining drafts for you tomorrow over on his channel. And then he'll join me on mine. Don't have that day pinned down yet, but pretty soon. Anyways, Bryson says, I can almost promise this will be my only combo of Mixon and Caleb. Good. Good, bro. That is risky as fuck. But you do have Jonah Coleman, DeAndre Swift, and James Cook, so it's not as risky as it could be. But good. I'm glad you're not going to do that too often. Anyways, hope y'all had a fun time. I did. And if you enjoyed the music, drop a like. And we're going to be signing out. Peace out, everyone. Goodbye.